Hey, the party starts. The party nice. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Olympic coverage, Paris 2024. Yes, the party starts and the party nice now on the rock and come in. Track is rock and come in. As I would say right now, it is high heels on my tippies. Well, I don't have any doubts in Gabbana, but yeah. Right now, track is it's time to have some fun. Now, camera is that way, my laptop is this way. So yeah, I'll be looking up, down, all around at this particular point. So yes, track is what is up? It's been a bit, it's been a minute, as you all can see. We get back light. Thankfully, internet, I'm here. I'm back in my place right now doing my thing. I am absolutely excited to be here to talk about track and field. And there's so much happening right now. So much, so much, so much, so much happening. Let's see. Oh yeah, before I get into it, my typical thing, Lord, looks like I forgot. Let's know who is here. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know who's here with me. Let me know. Let me see. All right, Mr. Black African. See, are you still at the red fridge? No, me get back live, thankfully. They got their act together. Look here, just what was it yesterday? Them get them act together. So thankfully, right on time for the Olympic coverage. I'm excited. I'm so excited because I was all over the place. I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I was trying to set things up, as you can see, zoom some things up. These pictures, them are going to change. We just never have no time yet, but when you can't see there's something not going. You know what I mean? Hey, bye. So what's up? Yeah, man, really long time. I'm apologetic for being slightly late. Islander, what's up? Yes, Steve, looking official. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're here and we're ready to deliver some good track and field coverage. All right, let's see here. Curl Beauty says, what's up? I'm good. What's up with you? Hey, Jay, looking lovely. Thank you. Yeah, man, I'm on my high heels today. I was walking and I was literally shimmying. It's been so long since I've had on heels. Believe you me, it's been a long time. It feels weird. I need to remember that for the men's 100-meter finals, for the women's 100, you know what? Any finals for Jamaica me need to something flat because I'm gonna drop straight on my face. But anyway, with that being said, hey Sean, what's up? Hey Sean, what's up? Hey Grant. Hey Grant, what's good? Hey Anita. Hey Johan, you look at thank you. Me hot right now, like as in I'm burning up. You're back. Now go earth to LOL. Oh, it's a tool, so I can, if I want, I can, You're so beautiful. Thank you. All right, goodie. Yes, Tanya, goodie Daya. Hey, Siobhan, what's up? I'm Gunner's boss. Hey. All right. Yes, the energy is here. The vibe is here. The action is here. And we are ready to take over YouTube for the Olympic Games, right? So there's a lot happening, as I said. So much happening in track and field. And I just want to get into a few things. Let's start with Johan because I want to, talk about the good things going forward because it's one team Jamaica. So it doesn't matter how much you see me complain throughout the season. When it comes to championship time, a team Jamaica me say, and full support, no matter what is happening, our athletes, we are going for the glory. You know what I mean? So let's jump straight into Johan Blake and this whole debacle that's been going on online. So as you all would have noticed throughout from, I suppose, his injury, Johan has not been, anywhere close to his 9.69, seconds best, or even his 20, well, not 20, his 19.26 seconds best in the 200 meters. Nowhere close. And this year, it has got much worse. For me personally, from my personal perspective, I'm just kind of watching him, bow out. For some people, it's not gracefully, you know what I mean, because they would rather him bow out on top. But for me, I'm just watching him, soak up all the adulation from the fans around the world, seeing the second fastest man over both distances perform till it's time for him to say, hey, that is it. I'm calling it today, you know what I mean? But what I noticed is that during this 2024 season, things got much worse. As I said, his season, he was in and around, let's call it mid 10 seconds running for the most part. And you guys would recall me doing, I believe I did a live, I don't remember if it was a video or a live, but I did one saying, hey, Johan Blake looks like he's in trouble, because I know this season, he wanted it to be his final Olympic year. So he pretty much wanted to go with a bang in 2024. So I remember doing a video saying, hey, with how things are looking, I will start calculate, you know, what Kishane are going to do. Because from, you know, from way back when I was talking about Kishane before this whole, you know, hoopla right now. So I was like, when you calculate what Kishane are going to do and then what Oblique are going to do, then you have to talk about Akeem and any other athlete that is potentially going to be coming, and they're all young. It doesn't look like, you know, Johan will have an opportunity. But even while I'm saying these things, I'm not bashing the athlete, you know what I mean? Not tearing him down. I understand that at the end of the day, this is a job. So as much as I would personally love to see, you know, Johan Blake running at his absolute best all the time, it's not going to happen given exactly the circumstances right now. And I've just accepted that fact. But some persons online, I don't know, them just start tear down Johan, you know what I mean? And it got back to the point where I started to call it vitriol, because I'm like, this is too much. This is way too much. And I felt like also after a while that he started to put out more and more motivational videos because of all the attacks he was getting. Anyway, Johan Blake took up himself and saying in what interview say how, you know, Jamaican people, the Jamaicans don't like you if you are not winning, or they don't celebrate you if you're not winning. And well, before I tell you my thoughts on that, Oral Tracy went on this whole rant, ripping him apart and saying how he's ungrateful and he's this and he's that. And I'm thinking to myself, did Oral Tracy misunderstand what Johan Blake said, or am I confused? Because Johan Blake didn't say he didn't receive celebration when he was at his highest. He was complaining that he was being criticized. He's getting hate. He's getting vitriol flung at him day in, day out. And he's noticing a very vivid difference between, you know, the love he got when he was on top versus the hate now that he's getting. This is past just the level of criticism. And I felt like Oral Tracy was a little hypocritical, because he himself comes and spews hate speech to certain athletes all the time. Then he wanted to say something on his video along the lines of, oh, Elaine is loved, Shelly is loved, Usain is loved. All these athletes are not loved the same. Don't kid yourself. They're not loved the same. You know what I mean? You have some of the athletes that receive a different level of love than others, and it doesn't matter what they do, they can never do wrong in the eyes of the public. And some athletes, as soon as they take one wrong step, is a whole thing going on. So I thought to myself, was this even necessary? Was he even taking into consideration what Johan was saying and what he was feeling in this particular moment? What he was saying in this particular moment? I had a wipe right here. Anyway, what he was saying in this particular moment, no, I don't think he was. I think he was just focused on the fact that, oh, I saw a same thing with Asaba coming to complain. I'm like, every situation is completely different. And I definitely understand where Johan Blake was coming from. And I don't believe he needed to be attacked on top of it. That's just my view. I felt like he was well within his right to say how he feels, and that's how he feels, and that's what I believe was happening as well. So yeah, that's how I feel about Johan. Let's see. Let's see. Where am I? What time is the opening ceremony tomorrow? What did I say? It was 1 o'clock. I'm gonna look back at it. Check for me the opening ceremony, please. Time. I looked at it earlier. I know I forgot. But yeah, I'll be live for the opening ceremony, guys. Hello, great. Love the setup. Thank you. Nikisha Price, me say, all right, Robert, I'm with you. Yes, legs. Guys, I wear a lot of shorts, so that's fine. Let's see. Johan Blake just have to accept the fact that he was born in the wrong era. It starts at 12:30. Okay, so it's 12:30 to 4:15 tomorrow. That's the opening ceremony. All right, guys. What is wrong? Both is to him like Michael Jordan was to many basketball players. True, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be celebrated. And when you're on decline, it's not a reason to, you know, rip these athletes apart. I don't believe. at least that's not me. You know what I mean? Thankfully, I unsubscribed from. All right, guys, we're not going to say that. Red Horse, I have nothing fun. UT. Who is Red Horse? I don't understand. Johan should retire. Give him his time, guys. Remember, this is a job at the end of the day. You know, this is a job. So when it's time for him to call it quits, he will call it quits. You know what I mean? But some people, one, love the job that they're in, love athletics. And something about Johan I noticed throughout the years, even though we're watching him and we vividly see that, hey, things aren't necessarily getting any better. He believes that he can get better. And who are you to tell an athlete that they should stop? A lot of times we may think an athlete is done and dusted and out of nowhere them come and go whoops. I remember back in, before Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, let me use Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce as a reference. Before Shelly ever clocked 10-6 anything, I remember thinking in my brain that, you know, 10-7 was a cap. And I always heard her talking about how she can go faster, how she can go faster. And I said to myself, Shelly, you already run 10-7, you know? How much athlete can clock at the 10-7? When Shelly was running those 10-7s, you can't count on, must say 2 finger, how much athletes were running 10-7s with her. You know what I mean? And I'm like, 10-7 look like it's Shelly, you know what I mean? But guess what? She kept believing, she kept pushing, and guess what? Now her personal best is 10.60. So never say never. You never know what's going to happen, and it's not, you know, our place to tell an athlete when to stop, when to give up. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. So I'll keep supporting them until they say it is what it is. You know what I mean? Let's see what's happening here. To you out and stunting. Absolutely. I'm here for the Olympic coverage, guys. Yes, guys, please hit the like. I keep forgetting to tell you also. Once you're here, please hit the like button. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think Johan is just in his feelings. When he said Bolt overshadowed his career, is proof he's in his own head too much. Who isn't? Who isn't? You know what I mean? I think that's a human trait. And there's nothing wrong with that. Wish you had DMs, some back support. I'm not sure I understand that comment, so folks, please hit the like. Yes, please hit the like. What is LOL top stream? Yes, Drew Fortis, not Drew Fortis. Yes, Drew Ross. I'm here. We're ready. Red Host, a USA. Oh, they're not having on the pan we. No time, no day, no tal. Not, you see that flag? You see me good flag? Look here, you see when Olympic start and we start with me, let's go this up. Drag that down and start running. I'm just going to start running about the place, right? So I have it right here handy so that I can go whoops and I'm gone. All right. See body physique occur. Oh my gosh, yes, Joe, telling us I could drop some super chats. I don't agree with Oral calling him ungrateful, but also Blake's comments were unnecessary. As athletes in the spotlight, I agree that sometimes it's better to stay silent. So I agree with that aspect. I remember recently with the whole Janelle Brumfield, situation. Whilst I definitely 100% sided with Janelle, I felt like her, response was a bit it wasn't tactful. I don't think it was. I think she should have just kept her mouth silent and kept it pushing, because now you have a cross section of Jamaicans that just have it out for her and they're waiting to see anything go wrong. Any and everything that goes wrong with Janelle at any particular point in time, they're going to use it against her. You know what I mean? So I felt like she should have kept silent in that moment. Maybe it would have been better for Johan to keep silent as well. Personally, though, I didn't find a problem with anything he said. And the people that I talked to as well, though some of them may be like, okay, Johan, seems a little bit, delusional, you know what I mean, in his expectations from the fans, and what they should be saying about the performances. Generally, nobody really hated Johan for saying those things. So I don't get the wrath that he was facing with the whole ungrateful and this and that. And I'm like, what? What are we talking about? Did we even listen to what Johan said? Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate it. Let's thank Johan for his contribution. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with him venting. Like I don't know where we got this whole, ungrateful thing from, ungrateful spiel. He didn't sound ungrateful to me. He sounded very hurt. If you heard the pain in his voice when he said, I'm glad Jamaicans aren't supporting me. I'm glad. You could hear it. It sounded like he wanted to tear up. As a matter of fact, if you watch that video straight, there is a moment in time, and you see, because I do video editing, I know there's a slight glitch between when he started talking versus when it picked back up. And I felt like the camera cut and then it started back up, because I felt like he broke down at some particular point and then he had to regather himself. And I feel as though the interviewer just, asked him to start over, and she kind of cut and pasted it together, because there's a moment where there's like a slight glitch when he starts to talk, and I felt like he was about to cry, and then all of a sudden he was back, normal talking. And I said to myself, you could feel the pain and hurt in him. He wants Jamaica to love and adore him, even though he's not running, the super fast times, and we should still be loving him. It doesn't matter if he can give us those medals anymore. Just appreciate him for what he has done, and understand, say, all right, his time is probably past, but it is what it is. When he's on the track, we still say, hey, Johan, what's good? Let's see what you're coming with. All right, and then nothing. All right, let's move on. You know what I mean? But we shouldn't be dragging him across social media, I don't think. Hey, Dr. Day Smith, what's good? You can't purchase the Puma shirts. They're available. You can purchase the Puma shirts. They're available today. I went on the Puma official website. I don't know if I'm going on the wrong website. If you can have, please drop the link to that, because they seem to block me from purchasing. I tried to buy some stuff on their website before, and I couldn't buy nothing because of my location. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm on the wrong site or something. Hey Marlon, what's good? 13 minutes ago. All right, then. Yeah, it just started. Johan needs to just do his thing and ignore what people have to say. Perhaps. I'm loving this setup. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you. The flag and everything. Yes, man. With there, such man chat too much about ungrateful. It's interesting. You guys are saying that because I was scrolling through the comments. And I was reading the comments, and I was like, there's a lot of y'all out here agreeing with him. A lot of y'all out here were agreeing. I was like, okay. So I don't know. Maybe it's not you all in the chat, but some people didn't agree. Well, not some. A whole lot of people were agreeing. I don't think I found anybody in my long scroll disagreeing with anything that was being said. So whoever the people that be. Yes, Mrs. Hype made things worse for herself with her snapback, but her team should have told her to zip it. Yeah, man, she should have just kept silent and kept it pushing. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if she'll get side eyes at our camp in Paris. Again, I don't think the athletes are that petty, and I think athletes from time to time go through, different, situations with the Jamaican fans themselves. So they're probably even more understanding. So I don't think there'll be any particular situation that would make her uncomfortable there. I do believe, though, that the Jamaican fans, or at least some of them, are waiting for some bad stuff to happen for them to say, yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man, see there that they deserve. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. When he said that, he reminded me of a fan that always a big fan back in the day. We in 2024 T. I'm not sure I follow. Hey, Dean. I thought I was feeling hot, but Mama, you give hot a different definition tonight. Oh, you guys have never seen me dressed up. Well, welcome to high heels on my tippies. The echo. Oh, there's an echo because I'm using my camera mic, right? And I thought about using the little snip-on mic, but you guys told me that you didn't like it before. So like I'm kind of confused as it relates to the mic right now. Tell me how bad it is, and I'll tell you whether or not I will change it. We love Johan and still love him, but we have to focus on who in the spotlight. That is true, right? Why are you far from the camera? I'm not far from the camera. The camera is literally right there. What do you want? It still up into my face like this? We're changing things up a bit. So you've been hiding? Not really. I'm out and about. On Instagram, people were dragging him. Hardly found any good comments about Johan. Exactly, and that's the point. You know what I mean? It's not just watching him have the bad performances, and we're just like, okay, we understand. He's at the tail end of his career. He suffered a career-ending injury as well. So it is what it is. No, we just find the need to just spread hate all the time, which isn't necessary. Isn't there a Puma shop at Tropical? Look here, Verna. We live in Manchester, so there's no going to no Tropical Plaza. I agree with you, with Johan and Lamar. Elaine could probably say the same thing. Exactly. And I found it very interesting that Oral summed up Elaine, Shelly, and you saying in one sentence to say they get the same love. As like, what are you smoking? That is not true. But anyway, it is what it is. No echo for you. Okay, thank you. So okay, good. Um, See, what do you think about the pros and cons of the repertoire? Okay, let's get into that like what you're asking me right now. So, can I get the info on the repertoire, please, so I can read it? Let me get the info so I can read it. So essentially, they're introducing a fourth round for athletes that didn't pass the heat stage to get to the semifinal, a repechage round, which will be a fourth round that will give them another shot at potentially making it to the semifinal round. What this means is that if these athletes end up running a faster time than athletes that have progressed to the semifinal because of possibly placing, then those athletes will make it into the semifinal round, right? So yeah, I think I summed it up perfectly actually. I'm actually a fan of this. I've seen for years where, depending on the heat that you're in, you end up running a slower time and you make it in, and athletes with faster times, unfortunately, finish fourth, you know what I mean, and don't make it in fourth, fifth, whatever, and they don't make it in while they're watching athletes that are slower than them, make it through to a semifinal round. So I'm not mad at this. I'm actually not mad at this. I want to see how it goes the first time around. Let's see. As long as they get the seedings right, you know what I mean, for each race essentially in the first round, I think we won't potentially see any issues for any athletes going forward. I'm actually all for it. I've been talking about this for a while, but I'm actually all for it 100%. This whole repertoire thing. So, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Because I don't know. I think I agree with it 100%. Thank you, Kamal. I appreciate it. Rohan can try coaching or something. Oh, Johan, use his celebrity. Well, he created. Remember, I believe he part owns the club now with Michael Frater. So yes, he's moving into different things, different ventures. But it doesn't mean that he wants to quit track and field just like that. You know what I mean? To you, great. Thank you. The setup is looking nice too. I appreciate it. Um, See, what I don't understand is why both Omar, McLeod, and Johan come out with these sentiments now. McLeod especially, because I recall people, because I can't recall people not celebrating McLeod. What you say? Dr. J.D. Smith look like you're not online properly, because I remember when Omar McLeod won his first gold medal for Jamaica, which incidentally is his first medal. People were just caught up in how he celebrated, and the whole thing was about what he goes by, I suppose, at this particular point. That's what it was all about, not celebrating Omar McLeod for just winning a medal. And even to this day, like when I do videos on Omar McLeod on the channel, the first thing everybody does is come in the comment section and say, oh, he's this, that on the third. Nobody cares that he was winning whatever. So I don't believe he got the love that he should have gotten. I actually believe him 100%. You know what I mean? He's a countryman as well, part Clarendon, part Manchesterian, because we steal people a lot, right? Just like I'm stealing Kishane from Clarendon. That being said, right, I don't believe he got the love at all. And then things just got worse when in 2021 he said something along the lines of Jamaica can't do without him. Lord of mercy, we'll tell you what Omar Figo said that. Things just went left for him. So I don't believe he's ever gotten the love. Why they both chose this year, I don't think it's a case where, Omar McLeod was looking around and saying, oh, I'm going to choose this year to talk about it, right? I think that this year he felt strong enough in himself to say, okay, it's time for me to share how I really feel. And it just happened this year. Maybe Johan Blake looked at that situation and thought it was well received by the Jamaican public, right? Maybe it's time for me to tell people how I feel as well. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If running is not working anymore, move on to something else. Life is shorter than being a crybaby. I guess you were one of the people under the comment section, Eric, that were dragging Johan. Oh my gosh. They always had repertoire rounds in rowing. Might be it's too taxing in track. Okay, no, Raymond. Stop. Let's go back. They stopped 4 rounds, 2009. So prior to 2009 and prior, there was always 4 rounds in the event, right? If you go back to when Usain Bolt broke that 100-meter world record, a 4 round in run. 2008, 2009, and every other year before that. So if they changed it, I don't know, maybe they thought, okay, less rounds would give you better performances. I actually don't know why they changed it. Maybe I should look up into it some more. I just recall them changing it and it was just that going forward. You know what I mean? But they were running 4 rounds. So I don't know if it was good all those years before. Why can't it be good, going forward? And it's not everybody that is going to run 4 rounds. It's just the athletes that didn't make it to the semi-final round that potentially have an opportunity, or based on the times they ran, that is, beat athletes that did make it, right? They have another shot to run again to see if they do oust that person, or if it was a buck-ups run. Let's put it that way. I understand what Johan was saying, but he brought all of this on himself by building up people's expectation on flopping. Then I don't know. I mean, most people, I think Jamaicans need to get a reality check. I think most Jamaicans live in La La Land, right? And we have this, imaginary thing that everything is all fine and dandy. You know what I mean? Athletes aren't human and things don't go wrong sometimes to the point where they'll never be able to get back. I think we live in La La Land. Even recently, when I was doing a video about the relays, a lot of persons were telling me that Jamaica is going to be magically okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for Jamaica. I want Jamaica to win. Actually, I believe Jamaica can win given the team that and the structure. I'm like, okay, we definitely can take away that gold. But I don't want to hear Jamaicans telling me magically that everything is going to be fine without no preparation while I'm watching everybody else do preparation. So what? Jamaica, our fairies are our fairy godmother or something where we can just magically go into relays all the time and expect everything to go perfectly all the time without preparation. I hate hearing things like that. You know what I mean? So I'm saying this to say, if you go back from the years prior, you could see that Johan was on a downward decline since that career-ending injury. As a matter of fact, multiple commentators and sports analysts have said, that it's amazing that he's even still in the sport, considering that his muscle fell off the bone. You know what I mean? So with that being said, didn't we already know what was going on? We already had the reality check. What are we living in La La Land? That something miraculous was just going to pop in and happen. Don't get me wrong. It can happen, but the likelihood of it happening is this versus it not happening is this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Sherica would have benefited from that in 2021. Plus, well, the time was slow too, guys. Remember, I don't think Sherica got ousted because of her place. Sherica didn't get ousted because of her placing only. She got ousted because the time was also slow, right? So, I mean, I guess she would have been fast tracked to a repechage round in 2021, and then she would have, righted the wrongs, you know what I mean? But yeah, you just have to execute your race. And I think also for the athletes that are, trying to pull things back, that won't happen anymore. I'm kind of interested in seeing how this will go. Absolutely, because just like with the longer distance events, where guess what? No, all tactical running where you try tactical run and make it in. None of that can go on a championships anymore. It is what is it, top whatever it is, and that is it. You know what I mean? So I'm all for it. I want to see how it goes though. Hey Charlene, what's up? Thank you. I appreciate it. T, will you be going live for the opening ceremony? Absolutely. I will be live for the opening ceremony, so do not forget to join me. All right. I will be here all 4 hours or whatever hours it is. I will be here with y'all. Omar was dragged and called slurs. Exactly. That's all people remember. I remember 100%. But it's true, we come from this side of the world. I can celebrate Omar McCall without thinking about anything else. But everybody else, I suppose the majority of the people that watch track and field are from Kingston, maybe. Those people dragged him for filth. T stand up and give me a 360. Drop a $1,000 in the super chat there. Drop $1,000 in the super chat there, pure synergy. I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna give that right away. Oh my God, it's just a disappointment of not qualifying. T, your hair is looking beautiful. Yes. What a good friend of mine say? Goody, I go step out. Yes, Goody, step out. Oh my gosh. But T, 4 rounds for the 1500 and the 800 meters. I mean, guys, let's see how it goes first. I don't want to shoot it down. You know what I mean? I definitely don't want to shoot it down. I spoke of, the rounds in previous years, prior 2009 and prior being 4, but actually I can't confirm if it was for every single event, but my assumption was it for every single event. You know what I mean? So what's the big deal? Yes, I remember 4 rounds, and I'm pretty much in favor of the Repescher. Okay. I think IOC is stingy. With what now, Verna? What I was saying, T, he was celebrated when he was running. Depends on what he's calling celebration. He said Jamaicans only love you when you are winning, right? So he's well aware that he's not winning, right? And he's well aware that he was celebrated and loved when he was winning, right? So in this moment, when he's not winning, when he's losing and running very slow, there's no love for him. That's pretty much what he's saying. Um, the ISA is very stingy and restrict the athletes using their bodies and suits to advertise for their sponsors. Well, everybody knows it's a money making thing, right? Explain the whole stingy part. Are we talking about the beds available for the AP reserves? What exactly are we talking about when we talk about stingy? Jamaica now win 1 relay. Stay the way task. We are with them every single. Well, not every single one I have us win. I think we have a good shot in the women's one, 4x1, men's 4x1. Things are a bit hard for us in the 4x4. Clearly, we don't have a 4x4 men, but the 4x4 women, it's not going to be easy because while we have one really, really good athlete, the rest of the athletes I don't think are where I would love them to be fair. But guess what? A lot of time has passed since the trials, and I noticed a lot of people were trying to get things, spot on for Paris. So hopefully some of those athletes are much faster than what they displayed, in previous weeks. Give you an example. When we went to London, we saw a lot of personal bests out of London, right? So my assumption is, or at least my hope is that quite a few of the athletes that will be partaking in the 4x4 are much better than they were, which will give Jamaica a better opportunity to fight for, one of those medals. I don't think gold clearly, but hopefully we can fight for silver or bronze, you know what I mean? But it's going to be very hard because there's so many teams that are now in it, and they're very strong this year as well, right? The Netherlands is there. Netherlands beat us last year clearly in the 4x4 when there was no America, right? Great Britain has a super strong team this year. Can't sleep on them. Poland is there. There's so many teams right now that are in it. And so Olympic Games, a lot of these athletes that won't medal individually turn up for relays because they know this is their only opportunity to get a medal, right? So it's going to be hard in the 4x4, but I'm for my team, absolutely. What's up, Jordan? TV looking too. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, good come out. See, me see USA a practice relay exchange. We start free practice yet. I see a lot of people saying that Jamaica. So let's talk about relays and where things really stand with Jamaica and these relays right now, right? I don't think much has changed. So yes, Jamaica had their camp in Germany, I believe for 2 weeks. But if you notice, the athletes that were there were not the main athletes that were partaking, in the 4x1. Case in point, the athletes that are from elite, or the athletes that are from MVP. I believe the athletes from MVP still haven't. I believe they arrived tomorrow. No, today. Today I think they arrived. Child, which day are we? We're Thursday. I believe it should be today. They arrived at at Paris actually. You know what I mean? From their camp, right? So in a sense, I don't think anything happened from a training perspective. But the good thing is that most of the athletes only compete in the 100 meters. So what that means is that all the time to when the 4x1 is run, they have all that opportunity to practice. Unlike in previous years where most of the athletes were doubling, you would say, so nobody really had an opportunity to do any practice because they were still focused on their individual, attempts at a medal, right? And this time around, not so much. Only Sherica is doing the double. So Shelly will be available, Tia will be available. Alana is already there. Clearly Shelly is also available, right? So, and anybody else, I see a lot of people throwing out like an Akira Nugent. I think the J3s need to take into consideration the athletes that are there, not running a sprint event that you're typically used to being part of the relay, right? And Akira Nugent looks absolutely fantastic this season. She should be given an opportunity as well. So let's see. And it's interesting because I do recall her earlier on in the year, I believe, running on a 4x1. So they have all this data available. It's kind of weird to me how they have all this data available and they don't use it. You know what I mean? It's strange. But as I said, I'm still for my team. How I've structured this team is I'm going whoever on first leg, child. So as it stands right now, it's going to be potentially Sashali. I don't potentially like Sashali out of the blocks. I like Sashali when she's giving me a running start, but I don't like her out of the blocks. So I'd prefer to go with an Alana over a Sashali in that starting blocks because of how I structured my team. You all may have structured your teams differently, but how I structured it is I want Shelly to remain on backstretch. And because I see a lot of people saying, oh, put Shelly on, anchor. Here's why I won't put Shelly on anchor. It's not that Shelly can't run anchor, you know what I mean? Because Shelly is fantastic anywhere she runs as far as I'm concerned. But the experience matters. The experience matters, and we need somebody really experienced to stabilize the relay, especially amongst a bunch of newbies. And a lot of times you tend to find where a relay breaks down on that second changeover. You know what I mean? So we need that experience from a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce to make sure that whoever is on third leg gets that baton. You know what I mean? And that's why I want her to stay there. So not only does she give me a fantastic leg there, but I want her to stabilize the relay. And that's what I'm looking for from her. So yeah, Shelly stays there. Then I have Shericka third. I mean, I care 101 say Shericka need to move up. So you can even move up and come run the bend. She's the second fastest ever over the 200 meters, fastest woman alive. She can run a bend. She can run a mean bend. And guess what? She gets to run it against the woman that also runs a mean bend, Gabby Thomas. Why not go there and eat her up and show her how bends are run? You know what I mean? And then I see people, underestimating Tia and talking about how Tia is going to get run down. Who are we talking about here? Is it a 11-2 Tia? Or is it the Tia we see recently run? Because I'm confused. One of the things that I saw run down athlete go, let me ask you a question. When Sherica Jackson did I run 10-7, just think about it. When Sherica Jackson did I run 10-7 in a 2020, what is it? 2022? And what was TT Terry running? Was she what, a 10-9 sprinter or an 11-second sprinter then? You would say based on form. I'm not talking on personal base. I'm talking about form that she went into, that particular championship with. Sherica did run her down? Tell me. Sherica did run her down? No. So, what do you think of when somebody has natural speed, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about the natural turnover, right? Because we all talked about in previous, weeks, years about Shericka and her turnover and the fact that she doesn't have that natural turnover yet, which is why she had to work on that, in years, and which is why she's so much faster now with that 10.65. But an athlete like Tia has that natural turnover similar to an Elaine, similar to a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. When the thing said, let's just use the shape that we last saw them in. You think say at 10-7 Shakiri, I run down 1:10-8 Tia? Please miss me with the BS. She's not running her down. As long as Tia gets that button in front, Tia is gone and Tia gives us that gold medal. Me don't tag. Me don't talk. That's where I am right now with that medal. Okay. Where am I now? The IOC prehistoric dinosaurs that pocket everything. You know, I found it kind of interesting when they were asking the AP reserves because there are not any beds available because the IOC didn't make any beds available for the AP reserve athletes. That the J3s was asking the athletes to fund their own, stay in Paris, which we do know that Anthony Cox is funding his own stay. I'm kind of confused. Why is it that big Jamaica can't attract funding to make sure that in instances like that, if an athlete is required to stay outside of the village because IOC didn't make the beds available for, the AP reserves, why is it that these athletes have to be funding themselves and why them not have the money for funding? Now, we can't understand. Let's reiterate the fact that Jamaica in track and field is ranked second globally, right? We don't care about small nation, large nation, nothing. Jamaica should be able to attract the funding. Why we can't attract the funding? We're kind of confused. This brand Jamaica cannot attract funding to make sure that our athletes, regardless of the situation, are set. I'm confused. I'd love for somebody in the chat to explain that to me and help me understand. But that is confusing to me. You know what I mean? Separate apart from the IOC and whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? I'm confused why the athletes can't be taken care of. Why Jamaica is always strapped for cash. Everywhere we turn, oh, we don't have no money. We don't have no money. We can't do this. We can't do that. Why? I don't understand. See, it's awesome to see you feature the great Donald Quarry in your photos. He was one of the first sprint stars, and I remember him in 1976 Olympics and the great rivalry with Trinidad Crawford. That was before my time, but I certainly watched those races on YouTube. Oh my God. Oh, nobody talking about Blake who finished third at trials. Leroy, good points. I think because many people are probably talking about the medalists, right? They believe that when it comes to medals at the Paris Olympic Games, Akeem Blake may not be able to stand on the podium. That doesn't mean he can't, but realistically speaking, all things remaining equal, there are a handful of good men. We talk about, the Obliques and the Kishanes, right? You still have to take into consideration the Noahs, as well as the Fred Curleys, as well as the what's the 200-meter guy name again? Bednarik, right? You still have to take him into consideration as well. And these athletes are all, 9/8, athletes so far this season, and potentially will be turning up into Paris faster. One of them have already run 9/7. Though hasn't run 9/7 this season, there's a potential possibility that he can get back into 9/7 as well. So when you take into consideration the type of men that are running, you still have the Olympic defending champion that has been looking good. He's been trending in the right direction. You still have the South African as well, Akani Simbine, in it. Andre de Grasse may pull something wild. You never know. You know what I mean? So with that being said, let's see later Bogo. There's so many athletes right now that have already gone faster than an Akeem Blake. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say medal for Akeem, but we could see, 3 athletes in the finals potentially for Jamaica. And I'm just being real. It's not that I don't want 3 medals, but I'm just being realistic here. Maybe I should be like, for those American people that are out there, calling gold, silver, bronze for all the Americans, maybe that's what I need to do. If Omar made the team, would we hear how he feels? I don't know. I don't know Dr. Dave Smith, but that's just how he feels. So yeah. Hello, hey Kamala. 1,000 Jamaican, excuse me, 1,000 USD. I feel like the fourth round for the 200. I like the fourth round for the 200. Me too as well. I like it. It's not for the longer distances, but for sure the 800 and I think it's only 3 events. I think it's the let me get back that information. I think it was only 3 events I read, the 2, the 8, the 15. You know what I mean? But let's see. Johan does set up himself for real though. He said things like not leaving Tokyo without a goal. Then when it doesn't happen, what him expect people to say? Guys, we need to have some kind of discernment. Athletes are always going to say they're going for medals. Let me give you an example. Last year in 2023, Natasha Morrison said she was going for a medal in the women's 100 meters. And I said, medal where? You know what I mean? Because realistically speaking, you're looking at a Shericka, you're looking at a Shelly, you're looking at a Shakira Richardson, you're looking at a Julian Alfred, a Dina Asher Smith, a Mary Jose Talou. You know, athletes that in that season were already much faster than Natasha. Where was Natasha going to fit in for that medal unless all of them rumble over or just don't execute how they're supposed to execute? The realistic thought is, okay, I understand you having confidence in yourself, but the medal now got really just, miraculously happened just like that. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing for Johan. When he was saying those things, I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? I wasn't really taking it to say, Johan was going to give us a medal. So I wasn't like overly disappointed that we didn't get a medal. You know what I mean? Would I have loved the medal? Sure. But it was like, okay. He said this is his last Olympics, yet drop out first round of trials. Lord Dr. J.D. Smith, I want to you and Johan. I think that fourth round will be great for hurdlers. Think of when Broadbell fell. True. Johan maybe should just keep running without all the self-imposed publicity. They're athletes, so whether or not they want, they're in the spotlight. If Johan planned to do something special, he should just do it and stop announcing it. If he never said anything and still losing, Jamaicans wouldn't bash him. Why do we need to bash the athletes when they lose? That's the thing. Okay, we criticize the performance. That never ready. We could have done better than that, but why are we bashing? That's the thing I don't understand. Teeth soon talk about I'm not sure what that means. Oral Tracy gave his prediction for 2004 Olympics. Oral had me laughing and shaking my head. I haven't checked. Track and field starts August 1. Yes. So guys, y'all know my prediction show is coming as well. My previews are coming. Everything is coming, guys. Don't worry about it. These videos are coming. What about the mixed relay? That one is going to be hard for us as well. Definitely going to be hard. But we just have to go try and see what we can do. I'm actually tired of beating the incompetent J3As, but I feel bad for Kemba and some others at the hands of the J3As. It's kind of interesting, not selecting her, then selecting her, then telling her that she's not needed, kind of thing. And then Ludlow what's coming out and saying that, oh, the athletes already knew their status as it relates to they would have to pay their way there. And I'm just kind of confused as it relates to that particular response, especially when he talked about Nayoka Clunis and he said they had a team meeting and everybody is, comfortable with the fact that they tried everything and the response that they gave. And I'm like, who is this everybody that we're talking about? Because I'm watching Nayoka Clunis online all day, every day, venting her frustration. So she's not all right. What you talk about said everybody's comfortable with what you've done. Nobody's not comfortable. I'm not comfortable. I don't know what Lord did I talk about this. So I was kind of confused. As it relates to Kemba's situation, how do I really feel, child? I don't really feel no way about it, to be honest. I can't really say I feel no way about it because initially I heard that the reason why they weren't selecting some athletes for the 4x1, even though they placed higher, was because they were snubbing the relays. So I'm like, well, if it is a snub relays, it is what it is. If they're selecting persons that, willingly were participating for Team Jamaica, then why not? That's why I believe that Alana was selected. But then they were like, okay, let's put you as a reserve. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. Anyway, we need that starter anyway. And then, she heads off to Europe. She runs a few races, you know what I mean? Looks, in pretty decent shape, similar to what she was showing at the trials, at least. You know what I mean? Though she was running in some negative wins as well, but still pretty similar performances. And they pretty much said, hey, we don't need you. But at the same time, well, at least that's what Kimber said. But they're saying that Kemba wasn't able to, pay her way there kind of thing, which I'm kind of confused about the pay way her way there thing. I hate that, idea or any athlete having to do that. But as I said, it makes no difference to me. You know what I mean? When I was factoring in athletes running the relay, I'm not gonna lie. For the first leg, I want somebody stronger. That's just how I look at it. Um, Tia to Shelly to Lani to Shericka. Okay. Tia is going to shop them. Agreed. TT wasn't in the 2021 Olympic final. I said 2022. 2022, TT Terry ran the anchor leg for Team USA. There was no Shakiri there. That was the year TT Terry anchored and Shericka wasn't able to catch her. You want a Nubian anchor? How much here now Tia run anchor? What kind of newbie? Tia used to this. Tia run anchor long time. I years no me I watch Tia on anchor. Tia go alright. LOL, they call her Shakiri Skywalker Richardson for a reason. US, all right. Want you to skywalk past Tia. You're saying prediction was stolen from Sister Carrie-Ann's prophecy. I'm not sure what that is. Agree with you, T. Shericka need to line up with Gabby Thomas. Tia is not a newbie. I don't know what people are talking about newbie. Tia not new to nothing. Maybe new to the Olympic stage, sure, but she's been running globally on championship, occasions all the while for Team Jamaica and doing fantastic. You know what I mean? Anchoring Jamaica to multiple world records, though one wasn't ratified, but multiple world records. One I talk about that Tia, Uno send already? I don't know. Must have one different Tia. When the line come, Tia still around. You remember the race in Kingston? But Tia are still around when line are done? All right. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm confused about the roles of all three entities at times when it comes to funding. Minister Grace, I believe the funding for the Olympic Games comes from, the IOC, which doles it out to the JOA, which ends up doling out to the J3As. But I'm saying for a body like the J3 is, representing athletics, why are we not able to attract certain funding and certain sponsorships so that our athletes are not disadvantaged at any particular time? Team USA is over there, they have AP reserves. I'm sure they're paying for it, and you're going to say, well, large nation, blah, 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 has it, COFAC. At the end of the day, they're attracting, the sponsorship. They're the biggest sporting nation in track and field, sure. Jamaica is second. Why can't we attract the funding? I'm confused. Sorry, you can't compare the pressure of Olympics to World Juniors. Championship or championship. If you can't run a champs, let me tell you something. What most of these athletes say is that what prepared them for running at the World Championships and also running at the Olympic Games wasn't no other junior competition, but was actually champs in Jamaica. Them athletes are all right. Don't doubt them. They're gonna be fine. If Tia gets a big enough lead, Shakiri won't catch her. Shakiri, if she gets that, good lead, Shakiri and catching her. I'm gonna ask you. You're talking about 80K people in a stadium. My opinion doesn't change, S. Not change at all. Because think about it, S. The same kind of pressure with Tia go face for anchor are the same kind of pressure she go face in the starting blocks. And as a matter of fact, I will say to you that the person in the starting blocks faces the most pressure because at this so you can false start. At this so everything can go wrong. Separate apart from the button dropping and everything else, and nobody no get through run done at all. So the person in the starting blocks actually faces the most pressure. And that's what you want to tell me, so the newbie should run. Make it make sense. As you want to call in, sure. No problem. Let me share the link. Present. Where's my headset? I think I have it. Okay. Let me share it. Let me share. Invite. Copy. All right. I've shared. Okay, so the link for calling in is in the chat. I just have to get my headset ready because I need to make sure that I can hear. Wait, what is this connected to? Chat, I don't even know what this is connected to. Will I be able to hear? I don't know. But anyway, let's see. Let's go now. Okay, so Hask is joining. So hey Hash JA, what's up? What's good? Can you
I'm
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, so it's not through this chat. Let me turn this off. I need to get used to this new setup. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you perfectly. Perfectly. All right. So what would you like to jump into?
You look amazing tonight. That's the first thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate I appreciate it.
Um,
Okay.
first things first. For the release, that's the first release. No, Johan Blake. So
You want
I
me?
yeah. So I think he has a right to say that he has done the work. He has made history for us. So he has a right to say anything he wants to say. He needs to vent. So let him vent. He has done the work, and if he's not feeling appreciated, let him vent. Who are we to say nay? It's his mouth. He might feel away, but it's his mouth. He could have said it differently, but to him, that's how he's feeling. And to be
You know
honest,
what? While you say that, something jumped out at me. Why are Jamaicans so against people showing their emotions?
because some of them don't know how to react or be, I call it empathetic. Is that the word?
Empathetic. Yeah.
Yes, towards people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to receive or show emotions. So when you say something or do something, them say, I don't like him, I don't like the names clearly. So I think that's what most of them suffer from. Like they don't know how to understand, gauge, and react to someone's emotions and responses. So that's one thing some of us lack. So I think that's what happened with Royal Churches with Mr. T saying that he's ungrateful. Mr. T needs to just easy himself. He has for the past couple months have become his comments have become so ludicrous, fallacious, and annoying and ignorant. And it's just become me watch him think we don't know me watch it for. But just I watch it. Cause it's like some bag of foolishness almost every time. Like but I
Mm-hmm.
still watch it because grew up watching him so again look
Mm-hmm.
at entertainment from watching him. But
Mm-hmm.
the Young Blake has done good for Jamaica. Honestly, God, if Young Blake was still healthy, that boat record would have been gone. Let's be honest,
Mm-hmm.
people.
The 200 or the 100 or both?
Both would have been gone.
Okay.
Both would have been gone.
I don't. The 100 is kind of, sticky for me sometimes, but I definitely think that 200. The 200 looked like it was on, slippery
Marathon.
side when it comes to you, I mean, I like you.
Yeah, because it was like 1926.
Yeah,
When
'96. Mm-hmm.
Johan came off that curve, oh my God. Oh, oof, it was gone. He was just gone from Walter. It was Walter Dix. Yeah, so people need to respect Johan, praise him because it's his last Olympics, hurrah. Nothing was done for him. Nothing was done to celebrate him. Nothing was done to commend him. Nothing was done to say, yo, thank you, Johan. Nothing was done for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. I have yet to see anything. I've been saying this from March. Nothing has yet to be done for either one of them. It is sad.
It is, and I think that's how somebody on social media say I believe it was after watching Christian Taylor's send off, right? Why didn't we have something for Shelly and Johan at the national stadium during the trials? And I'm like, hmm,
Because
why
the,
didn't we? Why don't we have the foresight to do these things? You know what I mean? Do we wait until the athletes are over the hill before or when they're gone to give them their flowers? I feel like we're those type of people where we wait until the people are gone to celebrate them. You know what I mean? And it's kind of sad.
it's the truth. And the J3 is JOC, Ministry of Sports, these old dinosaurs refuse to do anything but pocket money for them pitney and grand pitney, just sit on there, smile, sign off, and do nothing. Praise the people them man, them do for Jamaica what they themselves have been in parliament, have been in this position for decades, have done nothing. The system is the same. There's no improvement in sports facilities. They keep on saying not the money, and they're getting millions from IOC, millions from analytics. Where's that money going? Into their own pockets. People need to protest,
No,
man.
no, where everything I go because I where did them name JOA gave a breakdown, public breakdown because the J3s was complaining about not getting any funding from the JOA, and the JOA gave them a breakdown of all the money that they had apparently and how it was doled out. You know what I mean? Scholarship funding, a lot of things that they were doing for Jamaican athletes, through athletics kind of thing, the track and field side, right? So I don't know where the fall off is, but I'm also questioning, okay, is it that we are not allowed to take funding? Is that it? Is it unethical to receive sponsorship? I'm just trying to understand why Jamaica as a nation, the second, ranked as nation globally in track and field, can't attract anything outside of what the IOC gives us. You know what I mean? Why can't we attract those things? What's going on with all the other deals that we have? You know what I mean? Like what's happening there?
Look on USA. I think Nike has a very strong ties with USA. So Nike
Mm-hmm.
gives USA a lot of money, and
Mm-hmm.
Ralph Lauren as well for Olympics in general. But they give a lot of money. So why? I don't know. It's there's some contractual agreement. That's why Nike can give so much money to USA. I'm not sure. Can't speak to that. But I'm even saying that like even the companies in Jamaica, they're very slow. Yes, you want to see I call it metrics. You want to see the person's brandability, brand recognition, or brand worthiness, whatever, to
Mm-hmm.
invest in them. Yes, but it's your own people. You pick. I've seen me on track and field from 2004, and
Mm-hmm.
I can come from month two on them. How much company sponsor them own Jamaican athlete.
I remember in 2021, Usain Bolt made a very interesting tweet when a lot of local companies were jumping on the, Olympic hype and what was going on and not giving the athletes their, due, but wanting to use their image and likeness. And I remember Usain Bolt saying, listen, don't fall for it. Make sure you're getting what you're supposed to get. You know what I mean? Before you allow these companies to use these companies, these local companies to use their image and likeness, right? So I do know that there's some kind of disconnection between companies in Jamaica and supporting the athletes locally because I don't know. It's like how I look at the whole KFC thing. I don't know if you remember, but when Christopher Martin
I
was
remember.
trying to get that deal with KFC. It was the hardest thing to get, and Usain Bolt had to step in. And the reason was for KFC, they're making the money regardless, you know what I mean? So they don't see the point. I mean, I see Jadon now with a KFC deal, and I'm like, great, awesome. But it took that, you know what I mean? So many years for KFC, big, giant KFC in Jamaica, how much years to sponsor somebody? It's
And
ludicrous.
oh god, it hurts me. KFC is making billions of dollars, and them just now, both learning from 2008, he had so much good athletes for almost 2 decades, even before that, and KFC could do nothing. Jesus, at least they didn't know, but gosh.
Mhm.
I was the one that said, why KFC can't sponsor somebody? Why KFC can't sponsor the girl with the name Clooney? She begged for a sponsor, they never give it to her. Oh my God, yo, we don't understand. I understand the business side of it, yes, but sometimes you have to, it's called a corporate social responsibility. You see somebody in need, you're trying. So help them. Any day it would
So,
help your brand. But some of
for
them are not doing that.
example, is saying that Jamaica can't attract the funding because 2.8 million people is smaller than that Metro Detroit area,
That's
and
true.
they can only buy so much product. Simple as that. I
That is true.
agree with you in terms of what Jamaicans can do, in terms of what Jamaicans can afford to buy. From a local perspective, I understand that. But let's use a big company like Puma and what the brand Jamaica has done for Puma. You can't tell me, say, Puma and other brands that are probably interested, they can look at how Puma has benefited, right? Puma is Jamaica is the reason Puma is so big now in athletics, right? Look at back when they started to, um, sponsor Team Jamaica and look how many nations they were actually sponsoring. You know what I mean? It's Jamaica why they were able to get that kind of footprint, you would say, of track and field, which is why they don't want to let go of Jamaica. So the question is if they can look at that, you see Adidas running in. Adidas is running in with their millions and millions of dollars because they know Puma is making crazy money off Jamaica. All those things that they sell with the Jamaican colors, they're making money off Jamaica because all those people in the diaspora stay buying the products, right? So it may not be the people in Jamaica locally purchasing, but all those millions and millions of Jamaicans worldwide are certainly buying. Those non-Jamaicans as well that just want to be a part of the fanfare because brand Jamaica is so huge, they are purchasing as well. So my thing is, if companies can recognize that and want to be a part of it, it means that we are make money. Why is it not being reflected now in the administration and then in turn reflected on the athletes?
Cause somebody eat that food.
Must that they must have pocket everything.
They're
I mean,
they're currently eating escargot and those niceness in Paris. In
I got
Paris.
a $10 super chat. Thank you, Q Synergy. I appreciate it. Let me read what this says. The fact that nothing was done for Johan and Shelly has nothing to do with the fact that we have a corrupt, no, has to do with the fact that we have a corrupt JLP government. But they honor Will Marshall for having monger. Lord
Oh,
Jesus.
oh my gosh.
Every bad things went joke. Really cute energy. And that you really type to read. Oh my God. All right. I understand what you're saying in a sense because I remember when Wayne Marshall got that honor, everybody asked how, why, when, where. You know what I mean? And we know Sterling's. We
And
know
for what?
Sterling because there's so many other people in line way, way before Wayne Marshall forget that day. Down to his, mentor, Bounty Killer. What's happening here? How is Wayne Marshall here? Wayne Marshall has impacted Jamaica globally in music, right? He has a few songs I like, sure, but I don't believe he has impacted Jamaica globally like other artists have. From a content creator influencer perspective, is he influencing? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what he's influencing, child. Maybe he's influencing something.
It
But
might
I
be
still don't
acting.
believe it's to the degree where you get an honor like that versus others that have had bigger impact. All right, let's jump off whatever we were talking about because we talked about a few things and let's talk about the good stuff now, right? Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, guys, y'all know I've been copyrighted, strike left, right, and center by TVJ, so we can't show the little snippet them what TVJ alone seems to have. Dear God.
You
But
can put it on YouTube, on Twitter or
no,
Instagram.
it's on Twitter, but I feel them. I mean, I play it. Child, you don't know how they stay copyright striking me, right? So I'm not playing it, but I hope most of you that are here did see Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in her workout. So there are 3 videos in total.
I saw
There's
that too.
one with her without the blocks running down the 100, maybe for a 60. There's one with her running maybe a 150, I would say, or maybe 100 on the curve, right? And then there is one with another 60 in the blocks. What were your thoughts on watching? If you watched, what are your thoughts when you saw those snippets?
Well, for the 150, I saw the tape on her leg, on her knee. I
Mhm.
was kind of apprehensive saying that, Father God, just take the wheel.
All
But for
right.
the
Mentally, you're probably thinking tape. Forget tape and visually watch Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, not seeing the tape, and tell me what you saw.
not see the tape, I saw a good execution. She's trying to get back that start and just power through the blocks. That's the most important thing. Once you can power through those blocks and get that start and hold off,
Me say me wish me could have shown you, see, it's a pity me can't show now. Those knees. Did you see those knees?
yes, it's
Did
all
you
good.
see those high knees? You know when it was very visible in that 150 and the second 100, the one in the blocks, right? That second 60.
Yeah,
Those knees told me everything I needed to see. Shelly is near her best, very near her best, if not at her best right now. I said, listen, Shelly, I come. For those who are sleeping on Shelly, for those who are watching that tape and thinking to yourself that Shelly is done and dusted, you have another thing coming. Because those high knees, I was like, all right. She was bouncing. It's been a while since I've seen Shelly bounce. I didn't see her bouncing in 2023. And that's when I mean by a while, because 2022 happened clearly, right? Shelly was bouncing in those videos. Am I wrong?
you're not wrong. You're correct. You're
She was
correct.
bouncing. And that's what we need to see. And that was reminiscent of Shelly of old. And that's why I said in the video that I did earlier on that I'm seeing Shelly of old, right? She's either close to her best, at her best, as far as I'm concerned, or probably even better than her best. But we're definitely look like we're getting some 10, 6 something from a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, which tells you that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce never intend to come a Paris going left without the medal. And I'm absolutely here for it. And the people that are sleeping on Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce will be unto you. Well, as I said, I'm sorry for them, because I will be unto because I collect, we're come to collect medal, we're come to reap everything and potentially sweet as well.
I call.
We're coming for it all.
I want you to dust them foot. I want you to beat them. Oh my, you don't even know. But I want you to come on. Yeah, first thing, I don't want you to come in a red and orange wig. Because when we're not orange, when she don't win. So she come on something tough.
Shall come with something bad, man. Shall come with something bad, and just I go zoom past them, and that's all I'm gonna see. The colors are zoom past them. I'm
So
here for it.
it's a
And
big woman.
the start as well, the start looked good enough to me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And we have to be mindful as well, that when these people, athletes are doing these training, run notes and stuff like they're not going 100. They're not giving you 100. So for me, for those that can start short 60s, your 60-meter burst of speed, I thought it was enough to tell us that, yeah, man, she's coming. I definitely thought it was enough to tell us she's coming.
T.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching another YouTuber's live yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
he mentioned that the 2012 Olympic 4x1 team video called the new school of relay,
Um,
and they were telling them what to do, their experience, how to the synergy, chemistry, and everything and thing. So those four now, and the four from 2012, and such and such top star saying that, okay, that was you. This is we. We got this. We don't need your advice. You didn't reach out to us in person, so why should we take your advice now? And just said that, and they told her that, but we tried to reach out to you, but you blocked all four of us. She said, okay. I was like, I told you, a leopard never changes her spots. She's the
yeah.
same person,
Every
and if
year,
she wins, if she
look here.
wins,
When
oh
it
my
comes to
god,
American, their problems, I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? But it's only Americans are delusional at this point when it comes to her behavior and her attitude. Personally, as I said, I like her for the sport. I like her for the sport because she's entertaining. But I'm not blind to see that she's, short of a brat at this particular point. You know what I mean? In terms of her attitude and how she treats people.
and
People that
a frog
came
tail.
before her. There's absolutely zero respect. And I think it's a reflection of where society is going right now as
So
well.
true.
Right? Because I see a lot of kids online, TikTok. I don't watch TikTok, but I know someone close to me that is watching TikTok, and all I hear is disrespect all day, every day. And I'm thinking to myself, is this how these kids behave? You know what I mean? What are we doing here? Is this how we're growing our kids now? As far as I'm concerned, kids shouldn't be allowed to go on TikTok because it's rotting their brains. You know what I mean? But I think this generation, is rotten to the core, and it isn't necessarily her, but I think it's just a reflection of where society is right now, where people just don't respect their adults anymore, their senior counterparts anymore. You know what I mean? I would love to have been, in a position where I am the current best at whatever I'm doing. And let's say, for instance, rest in peace of clearly Hubert Lawrence. Let's say I'm here doing my thing and I get so big, and Hubert Lawrence reaches out to me, and I'm like, well, that was you and this is me. You know what I mean? Like, everyone will be like, what are you on? You know what I mean? So that's just how I look at it. As I said, personally, I don't really care, because America has a way of dialing in. You know what I mean? So they'll have these
Literally.
little spats with their athletes or amongst each other. But when they come to run, them they put all that aside and they run their hearts out. They're together, they're one unit. You know what I mean?
Jamaica.
And they work and run. And me not make that fool me. Me not make that.
Mm.
Maybe they even put that story out to throw us off, to make we feel like, say, oh, they're all over the place right now. That not trick me, because the same thing going on last year. Miss Tracy, she run up on Gabby last year. She never run up on Gabby last year and be things, right? And them still come run super well. So me not make that fool me. Never go come in the relay and run go. Jamaica just have to make sure we are right.
But for the just to touch on that really,
Mm.
I would see, given that we don't have Kimba anymore for the start.
You know what
Um
about?
Kimba.
What about Kempa?
For the start, I was saying that for the start,
Mm-hmm.
um depending on how Tia and Akira looks, I would put Akira for the start. Put Shelly for that second leg.
Mm-hmm.
Shericka for the third.
So there's no consideration for Alana. She's there.
No.
Rate Rank your athletes in terms of who you'd have rather for the best out of the three. So we're looking at Akira, we're looking at Alana, we're looking at Kimba. Well, Kimba is not there, so there's no need to even bring her up anymore, right? But anyway, you're still talking about her, right? So you say Kimba is it would be a better option than Alana,
For them,
right?
they're the same, for them, the same level to me, to be honest.
Right now.
Right now, uh, I give Kimba. But no, Kimba
I mean,
looks
okay.
better to me. She's better to me.
I mean, okay. I mean, we haven't
Hold the
seen her
block.
pass much trials, to be fair.
Mm.
Hmm. And then what about Akira?
Uh, depends on how she looks at the hurdles, but she looks good in that flat 100 like couple last week in Europe. She looked really good. She was literally ahead of the field for like what, 55 meters. And then I think it was, what's her name again? The girl from Nigeria got her on the line. So that was a good execution for a hurdler. That was really good. That was like 11 something. So that's really good. So that's a good indication that she's good out the blocks. It's most
Mhm.
important because remember that for America is going to be either Jefferson or Tamara Davis out that blocks. And if it's
Okay,
Jefferson,
if we're thinking finals, it's definitely Jefferson.
and she's going to be in 10-7 form. She's going to be deadly. Deadly.
But
So
if
if you
I
come,
would put that on the first leg and get it out and done with, Shelly make that back up. Shelly have to go make that back up on second leg.
see this so.
And
And
then when Shelly make it back up on second leg, Shericka get the extra edge on third to give it to Tia, in my opinion, on anchor ahead.
you're seeing the vision. One of them dust them see man. But them broke real record before
But
the race
but
started.
but you're forgetting something important. Me
Mm.
and you know say such man athlete are running at the finals. So I
And
touch
if
on your
and if she runs, and if she if, and if she runs, I will not be watching it because
I touch
honest to
on
God,
your so
I'm
I touch on the past that. So moving on.
they're not thinking strategic and annoys me because America win 2-3 years now in a row. What the hell?
Stupid. I touch on your moving on. No, I'm not averse to Shashali running, because Shashali, to be fair, has looked better than all the athletes that we talked about so far this year. Separate and apart from an Akira that I don't believe had a fair opportunity to really show what she's had in the 100 meters. I do believe that certainly has looked the absolute best. My only issue is that I don't want her on third.
You're gonna
And
put her on
because
third.
I prefer her with a running start versus out of the blocks, she just has this out of the blocks. I feel like she takes too long to get going, and you don't want that in a relay. You know what I mean? A running start, sure, but all the blocks, I don't want that, and that's where I'm having difficulty placing her because I know where she's best, but I don't want her there.
Or I have an alternative lineup, so you can put if Tia has a good start from the rounds. I put Tia on the first, Shelly on second. If Sherica insists that she cannot pass the button as usual, put Lane on the curve and put Shericka on the last leg.
Child, me move on from the Shericka the last leg, so I'm not even going back there. If I that them do, well, me no know if it's there. Me just have to sit back and watch. And listen, I go on, me want same way, and me support me at least them 100% same way, but me just feel like them not pliable. Sometimes J3s and whoever they selected them and the people them where the relay is not pliable, with them not bendable, not at all. Them just stay stiff and stuck in a one little box. Can't
They're not
bother.
strategic. They're not strategic.
Can't bother with them on this whole thing. So I'm excited. I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is in a good spot. So I'm excited for that. Oblique, oblique. What we learned within the last couple of days is that Oblique Seville, um, well, he did say he was the boogeyman. Remember, I did that video where he did that because people were talking about how he's the boogeyman. They not like us. I'm gonna play that because guess what? That's the only song I know right now that's trending and popular that you won't get a copyright, more than copyright strike, copyright claim for,
You
right?
won't get it, yes.
Yeah, because Kendrick Lamar made the song,
For free.
all YouTubers can use it, right? So I probably use that as my theme song. They're not like us. They're not like us. Anyway, so he came out and said, "You think you're gonna disrespect Jamaica?" So he's the boogeyman. But it's not just all talk. It's definitely not just all talk. And it was interesting to me to hear, reports coming out that Oblique Seville was suffering from I don't want to say an injury, but some kind of discomfort, niggle, because injury is such a harsh word and injury is injury. You know what I mean? And I don't want to use that to describe what he was going through, but it was a growing problem, right? And he was still able to clock a 9.82. He was still able to clock a 9.82. And then I started to think to myself, well, that's interesting. 9.82, slowing down with a groin injury. Because I think we can all agree that if he didn't relax through, the last, say, 20 meters of the race and be like, okay, I'm settling for this, second place spot where I am, I'm good, I'm qualified, in the race, he could have gone 9-7 potentially in that finals, right? So with that being said, that was still with the groin injury. So now he goes and visits, Muller will child. I'm not even gonna try that right now. Dr. Magic,
Warrior.
right? Wolfart, right? Anyway, Wilhelm Wolfart. That's his name. I don't know why I'm gonna talk about Wolfart, but he goes and he visits Dr. Magic Hands and he's absolutely fine right now and good to go. And it's interesting to me. Well, I didn't read an interview with Glenn Mills where he talks about them missing, a little bit of time with training and they're doing the best they can, right? But based on reports and things that Oblique Seville is hinting at, we could see him potentially be at that 9.6 that Glenn Mills was talking about, 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And that's quite interesting because it kind of, makes this men's 100-meter finals even more interesting. I was done calling gold and silver for Jamaica. The question is, how close is this gold and silver? And I think that's what's going to be very, very interesting. And who ends up with gold and who ends up with silver? I think that's where we are. I think right now in my mind, I have Kishane and I've had Kishane, over Oblique Seville. But this particular information that's coming to light is giving me hope that he's closer to Kishane at his best than I was thinking initially. That's my current thought process. But I'm excited because right now we look at Jamaica. I got us to go out there and dash with 2 medal and nobody now go close to it. That's just how it looks to me. But yeah, what are your thoughts when it comes to Oblique Seville and how his current status right now?
Well, to run 92 with a groin injury means he's
Mhm.
deadly fast, and everybody should be fearful. He has visited the doctor, Bolt's doctor,
Mhm.
and if he says he's good, 100%, it's over for everybody. Bolt himself said that today on a video clip for World
Okay, you
Athletics
put my
Olympic.
video on it. Uh-huh. You didn't watch my video, sir?
Bro,
I
Bolt,
don't
Bolt,
know what, sir. I feel upset.
Bolt said that Oblique will take it, and he says my coach is the best, and if he's coaching him, he's going to get it. And I've been saying that people are saying Kishane, Kishane. I'm saying it's going to be Oblique Seville and then Kishane. We're gonna run the rest
Okay.
of his life.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Kishane
if
gonna,
he gets
Kishane
that
gonna
bullet
run him down
start,
like
once he gets that bullet start, listen, and he keeps going. Trust me, I don't see it as an impossibility that it will be a case where he walks away with a gold medal. But as I said, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm here for him doing something absolutely spectacular.
and I want them to silence the fastest man alive. It did bunny for some of them, I say, man. Just and throw some water for them to wake them up because they're not
These
serious with their weight.
Americans never learn. They never learn. They just say whatever. They say absolutely whatever, and that's it. You know what I mean? And they don't care about anybody else. They don't, which is why it's so interesting when people come on my channel and say things to me like, "Oh, I'm a hater, and I'm a this and I'm a that." When I go over and I look at the type of content that Americans put out about predictions and whatever,
Disrespectful.
yeah, the things that they say about Jamaicans, Jamaicans will never catch themselves saying those things about Americans. And it's kind of interesting how they always attack us, oh, we are, this and we're toxic and whatever the case is, when they're even more toxic. But anyway, when it comes to that men's 100 meters, I just think Oblique Seville has a surprise in store. Is that surprise in store worthy of gold? I think so, absolutely. But it's definitely going to take a lot, I believe, in my opinion. 'Cause I'm not going to be biased. Committee section come with one stamp. You know what I mean? So it's going to take a lot for Oblique Seville to defeat him. But as I said, I'm definitely here for it. With that being said, Kishane has been working on his start. We know that. I remember watching that race right after the trials, the one that he did against let's see later Bogo. I forgot the where he competed, but I think it was in Switzerland, someplace I believe, right? And I remember watching him do that start, and right after that, I believe Asafa Powell did a video talking about when he broke the world record running, I believe 9.72 was it? Um, and he did it in the heat and he was told to execute the start, pretty much that's what he was doing, working on the start. And I was like, first and foremost, Kishane ain't gonna kill these comparisons with Asafa anytime soon. You know what I mean? Because literally I was visually watching the same thing with Kishane in his 9.91 run. I was literally watching the same thing. And then I started to say to myself, this man is beyond crazy, right? Because when you look at him form wise, you know what I mean? Though you can see the similarities with Anasafa Powell, it's still nowhere close, right? It's nowhere close, and and if it's giving you 9.6 with nowhere close, just imagine what it's going to be when his form is absolutely cleaned up. And the thing is, that's what they're working on. They're working on getting those things right, the technical areas, making sure that everything is executed flawlessly. And with the power that he has, that raw power, I don't know, guys. I don't know if the track isn't set ablaze in Paris. I don't know what. If in that men's 100-meter finals, I believe the track is going to absolutely be scorched. Much less they're talking about how this new track is, super fast and the times that are going to be clocked on it and all these extra things. Look here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, Kishane, what are your thoughts on him right now?
Ha, ha, ha. My thoughts are that it's going to be a it's going to be a crime scene come that finals. I don't know if I go buy a gallon buckle of coconut water for calm down myself because the emotions and everything. Cause more I see Noah's face when him lose. More I see them zoom in upon him face when he lose. Cause he deserves that to be defeated. I want him to be bad. I want him to get a bad. I want to them more civil. It'd be good if civil and Kishane cross the line same time. Oh my god. Same time, type of first. Oh my yo.
Mm.
That'd be sweet. No, I say, what? What? The Jamaicans, the Jamaicans.
And we say wop 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 wop, and we
What?
wop.
Go ahead, go ahead, man. Go
I
ahead, man.
shouldn't play. I shouldn't play the American song. I'm gonna use their song against them. Every time I see one Jamaican with me, I'm gonna say wop wop
Wop,
wop.
wop, 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 wop.
But I'm
Go
gonna grab
ahead,
the
man.
flag. I'm gonna grab the flag. I'm gonna drag it down. I'm gonna say wop wop
Wop,
wop.
wop, wop. A proper beating.
I'm proper beating. Look here. I am so excited for this Olympics and these athletes, man. Tia. Oh my God. Tia has to be the absolute. These
Nobody,
are the
yo,
craziest things I'm hearing.
I hear a guy yesterday on a podcast last night. The
You
man
still
said, oh,
must stop
yeah.
telling me you're a guy. You can't call the guy name. Jesus.
We don't know it's a white man. I didn't
You
remember
all
name.
know
I
who
didn't
you
remember name.
are.
I didn't remember name. But the man said,
Ray,
oh, yeah. It
Ray.
was it wasn't race. It was a white coach. The
Oh
man
no,
say, oh,
child, me not know about the white man because the white man they want me to stay from far and fling one back in the female. But
the man say, oh, Tia too fat. Tia leg them big, and she not passes the first round. Me say, sir, calm. Then I'm go for my buckle of water and just choke on you. So you can calm yourself. Man.
listen,
Calm
when me hear
yourself.
about going, you know, me have to myself to say, Jesus take the wheel. No, sir, but no, realistically speaking though, when you hear times and suggestions of 10 sticks, what are your thoughts? Given everything that you've seen from Atia this season, what you've known Stephen Francis to be capable of doing, what are your thoughts? Are
I think
you
it's
are
possible.
you into this 10-6? You know what I mean? Where do you stand right now with this 10-6?
Well, so looking at what happened at trials now. So in that semifinal, she run the clock said 10:83. So she was potentially supposed to go 10:7.
I heard that she was
That's
supposed to
right.
go to 7 in the finals. For
That's
sure.
right. 10:7. So with that being said, and she has
Because
that peak
remember,
there.
you know, Stephen said that he believes Sherica is in 10-7, I believe 7 shape, but that was 2022, right? 10-77. I'm trying to remember the 7-7s for Sherica for the years. But
2022,
anyway, I believe it was
2022,
10-70 at the
some 10,
trials. At the
10:77.
trials. 77, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he said that Sherica is in that 10-7 shape. And as long as more than, you know, two, three, as long as more than three people don't run that fast, then Sherica will be in. But I started to calculate and I said to myself, say, you're the person we are looking right now, Shelly, because Elaine not did it, right? Brianna Liston not did it. So what is a 10, another 10 athlete, 10-7 athlete come from? And then that's how I figured out that it had come from Stephen. But I was looking at slowly and I wasn't looking at Atia. So it did no say she had come with a 10-7, but it never dropped then. But the other thing that I will never forget that Stephen said that I keep holding to this day and I keep harping on. And you've seen visibly that the athletes only went to the trials to qualify. And the peak performance was coming at the actual Paris Olympic Games or will be coming at the Paris Olympic Games. And I talked about Shericka. You remember that race that Shericka pulled up in, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the pram. Remember I said, given how she ran at trials, she was close to that sub 22 shape, right? Are in sub 22 shape. And what we're going to be seeing in the race now is that sub 22 run, right? So before she pulled up, she was going to give us that sub 22. You understand what I'm saying? So everything is just perfectly, in my opinion, falling in place for these athletes, which again makes me wonder, okay, So 10-7 was supposed to come at trials for whatever reason, execution, yada 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 happened and it didn't work in the finals. But 10-7 was capable in that moment. At trials at least she had that speed in her. Is it possible for a Tia to move from 10-7 potentially to a 10-6 at the Olympic Games?
It is possible because we haven't seen her. So she's been working. She's working for the past month, call it 2 months, a month, call it a month and a half or something like that. So she's
Listen,
been
when I
working.
write to you, when I show out 10-6, I said that in my video. When you show out 10-6, maybe go see that 10-6 day. Like a lot of some of the artists that people call performances for, and I say, all right. I not necessarily say it's impossible, but I'm one of the artists for these type of performances, me have to see it first. Me have to see that 10-6 the first, we say, oh, damn. You know what I mean? No, don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely here for it if she runs that fast. Give people Ray. You know what I mean? It looks like Jamaica can sweep. You understand? No, me I try to say, but realistically, me not think 10-6. Me I think
I
10-7.
if all things being equal, I think she can go to a max 10-7-4, 10-7, probably 3 or 10-7-5.
Hmm.
If
So,
she
all right.
pulls
So we
out,
say
if
10-7-4, 10-7-5. Cool. No problem. Let's look at the rest of the field now. So we Shelly is there, Sherica is there, Shakira is there.
Jefferson,
Before we reach Jefferson, we reach
Alfred,
Alfred is there. I guess we can I'm still iffy about Talu because
Cosadina,
I want to see the first round. So my thoughts will change when I start to see the rounds because y'all know some of the athletes may have had setbacks, so you never really can tell. So as the rounds start, I may change my opinions. But right now I'm kind of iffy about Talu. But I'm throwing in a Jefferson. Um I'm throwing
Cosadina,
in Adina. I think those are the athletes that I have in my top six.
no TT.
No TT, right? So I'm not saying she can be, but she's not in my top six. Yeah. So that being said,
TT a lane filler.
if you're saying that potentially Shericka, Shakiri are faster, you would say right now than a Tia, would that make her level with a Julian, with a Ross Jefferson?
It will make her level
Or
with
does that
a
make her
Russell.
better in your mind than Alfred and Jefferson?
Well, to be honest, Jefferson at the trials was at could have gone 10-7. She could have beaten Shakari,
Anything
but
you
she
want
folded on
from
the first
Eugene.
round.
When it's about Eugene.
I was talking about the execution wise. She could have beaten her on that line, but she fumbled at the last part of the race. So
That's
she's in
part
the
of
rest
it.
of six.
That's part of it. Execution is part of it. Just like how we're saying Tia could have run 10-7. She never run the 10-7.
So I put Shelly, Shakari, Shericka, bracket one, bracket two, Alfred, Jefferson, bracket three, TT. Sorry, not TT, sorry. I'm so sorry. Why did I call her name? Tia, Cosidina, and I see Talu and Kambunji. I think
Okay,
Kambunji is
so
coming
you
back to
have Tia
final.
in a bracket three, and you have Tia a leapfrog everybody in a bracket two. I'm not gonna tell you any lie. Me have Tia in a bracket two. That's how I have ranked Tia right now in bracket two.
Bracket two. Okay.
Yeah. And so, what are your thoughts on the possibilities of the athletes that are in bracket two trumping the athletes in bracket one? Because I think that's important. Where do they really stand?
For Alfred now, if if our top two can't complete the task, I have her. If she gets that 60-meter start from like whirling doors, that perfect 60-meter start, and holds on for that 60 and
Mhm.
pushes through and maintains her speed, I have her winning it. I just have her winning it because such a girl can come out of blocks under pressure good. So if you can maintain and get a good start, you're winner.
Are we depending
Um,
on that? Are we depending on the fact that she can't come out and we're just assuming that she won't be able to come out? What if she learning?
no, she had to learn from last year to now. So yeah. Um,
Wait, so she
yeah.
not learning?
No, I'm not actually learn either. But the next person, no, Jefferson. Jefferson, based on what she had executed back in Eugene, she looked flawless. She just needs to work on her last 40 to 30 meters and maintains her form. She fumbles if she sees someone's beside her. So if
Okay.
she can maintain that, she's potential at 10-7 right now. Or ten
Mm-hmm.
seven 5, 10-7-4.
Does she leapfrog anybody?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't see her leave for anybody. Tia, no, given that she's trained by a Frano, and every Frano athlete in the past Olympics have gotten a medal. Every Frano athlete. So
Really?
female, yes.
The sprinters, you mean? Let's see.
2008, Sharon Simpson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Okay.
2012, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Okay.
2016, Shelly
So
Elaine.
who are our third athletes? VCB
VCB
and
is not a
Karen?
Frano athlete. It's not a Frano athlete.
No, no, I'm trying to remember who were three in 2012. VCB and Karen?
2012, it was VCB. Karen so was not fit.
No, but she wasn't
No,
a part of it. It was Karen.
she was in it. Yeah, she was in it. Yes, she
Yeah,
was in
yeah.
it.
All right. Keep going. And
She was in it.
2016, Elaine and Shelly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
2021,
All three.
Sherica, Elaine.
Mm.
Oh, well, child, here we go.
So
So,
Frano has a way of getting on that podium, and she will be in that form. I think he's sculpting her down, taking on excess weight off her body to get her to a place that her body, a speed that her
mm-hmm,
body has not been before. She has
mm-hmm,
to go to get on that podium. I think
mm-hmm.
for that podium, you have to get at least a 10-7-2
I think
or a
to be fair
10-7-4.
to be on the podium, I think you have to be, you're right, low 10 sevens are 10-6, you know what I mean? And if you're not that, and if we're expecting her, then we look like we are expecting 6 then. A 10-6. I come down to quality because as much as we are talking about it, and we are saying, we not really think 10-6, but the reality is that if we expect her to medal, then I look like a 10-6.
And I have her as a dark horse because nobody's calling her name, no man is
No, but
mentioning
the
her.
dark horse still has to run down or run alongside or beat athletes that are capable of doing this.
Yes, but end of the day, it's her mental fortitude in that she's saying that nobody's counting me in. I
All
call it a
right.
nobody, and I
Forget
want this the most.
forget mental fortitude. This is about ability. Whether
Mm-hmm.
or not you have the ability to go that fast or not. That's simply where it's at right now with that 100 meters. You simply can either go toe to toe with a Shakira, Shelly, and Shericka, or you can't.
Well, you have to tell yourself that, you know. You have to
That's
tell
simply
yourself
where
that.
it's at. So for the likes of, like a Julian Alfred, I'm sure she's coming in thinking that she can probably go toe to toe with them. You know what I mean? Right? At least that's my thought process. Is the same thing for Melissa Jefferson, though I do think again they're a few steps behind that particular tier. But it would be interesting to see if Tia indeed will be able to do that 10-6 because child, I will be floored. But
And
as
surprise
we
it can happen,
said,
you know.
me I make sure some in a flats cause when I get up and I run and I jump, me not broke my foot. I'm gonna make sure I grab this and run.
Because when people win certain races, you know, they're surprised at the times because they know that they could go that fast, but they're still surprised. So
Mm-hmm.
probably that can happen, you know. You're executing the race so good that when you see the time, you're surprised. Because when Elaine was running, you know, she point to the clock, you know. She could
Mm-hmm.
believe that she was running so fast. Elaine's at 10-5 found that time, there, you know. If she never point to the line, that'd be 10. Oh my, oh. It was at 10-5, you know. Should have just run through the line, you know, man. Maybe at 10, maybe at probably 10-5 flat. If she didn't point the hand.
I
Maybe
don't
at
think so.
10-5.
I don't think it would have been that. I don't think it would have been faster than the 10-5-4, but I definitely think it would have been 10-5 something.
She should have pointed to the line, man. Tell you, man.
No, I think that goes down in history as an epic moment. You know what I
It,
mean?
it, it does, it does, it does.
For
But you
sure.
know, sorry,
Dr. Jenny Smith has Shakira to win with an Olympic record, Julian Alfred silver
That we want
So what?
Shericka the
So
line
what
for.
Jamaica at this? Well, Jamaica at this Dr. J.D. Smith coming. Us in the Jamaica, I know. When the Jamaica, the Dr. J.D. Smith, Tia Clayton for bronze. Okay.
Yeah, Shelly,
Okay.
Shelly with something.
Okay. Well, make us see what I don't know. But I believe that two of our athletes are getting on the podium. I believe so. I believe it's gonna take Shakiri really fumbling hard to knock me down. You know what I mean? And the only way she can fumble is if she gets in the middle of the lane and our head she lose our senses and start the foolishness. You know what I mean? Is it possible? Well, we've seen her do it already. You know what I mean? So it's very much possible. Am I counting on it? No, which is why I have her to medal. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. I see two Jamaicans right now and one Shakir. Um,
I want him, no want team, no them friendly with them too much.
Look at me
Yeah,
now. You know, so during
they're
Olympics, I don't have no friend. Me tell you, no, as a matter of fact, it's not even during Olympics. In general, when it comes to competitions and Jamaicans are in there, once we line up with anybody, I don't care who it is, it's war.
and too friendly, man. I don't know, if Osha was there, I tell them, so when they're friendly, them like you.
With who
They
was
want come, they want you come win. They
there? With
want
who was
beat
there?
you. Sometimes I just want to tell them some things, you know, man. You don't even know. We got other rough. The
All
same,
right.
same girl want come beat you.
So
Jesus.
we talked, Shelly, we talked Oblique, we talked Kishane, Tia. Not Tia. I think we talked Tia, right? So Shericka. What are our thoughts on Shericka and where Shericka is at?
Well, they say that she's doing good. She's back to 100%.
I hear that she's doing better than ever.
So if
Better than ever.
she's at full 100,
Uh-huh.
the sky's the limit, and I want her to execute. But I want her the car natural here. Go the natural.
No matter
Like
what
a
the week, guys,
dog.
we cannot see what one.
Go the
Me and
dog.
you, between me and you, General, by the week, them already still.
We know. We know what she wear. Go the Mickey Mouse bun thing. Go the
General, by the week,
grind.
them already. So the week, them are weird.
We
My
give her
thing
Olympic.
is, I need Shericka to make sure she's self-aware. Or not self-aware, but race aware. You know, we saw her do it in 2021 where she wasn't race aware and she missed out on going any further in the 200. 2023, she stayed there back of Shelly-Ann thinks that the race won and Shakira out upon outside a win. You know what I mean? So I need her to be race aware. I believe that she won't make the same mistake three times, right? So I believe that this time she's well cognizant of the fact that I know, let's say for instance, you potentially go in and say you're looking at two other persons to join her on the medal podium, right? I know two more people in the race, or seven more, right? Everybody is a threat. You know what I mean? It's one race, and you never know what somebody's gonna pull out. You know what I mean to get that on that podium, right? So I need her to be cognizant, race aware of everything that is going on, and run her race, run for her dear life, and walk away with that potential gold medal. You know what I mean? That's just how I'm looking at it. The 200 for me is a no-brainer. I'm not pressing my brain too much about it. I know she's gonna go there and dominate that. But for the 100, me just need her to be race aware, have your blinders on, yes, focus on yourself, but at the same time, still know what I want on. You know what I mean?
She need to be like somebody thief her food, thief her jewelry, thief her clothes off of the line. Be dark. You have to win this. You have to go with that mental say, yo, I'm going to win this for my country. Lose it for the past 15 years. You not come beat me today. If I'm a Shelly, I win to me, and I'm me, I take it. You have to have that the mindset has to be there. That's how you win them from the start. You know? That's how both won them every single time.
Black African said, I have no issues with the sportsmanship and the friendship as long as they're focused. Let's not get too negative, sir.
Not negative. You're a competition. Though. It's a competition. It's a sport. That's after you're done. When you're in competition, they're not your friends.
Boy, I don't want to take off my little super chat off of my screen. Although Q Synergy, I don't know what Q Synergy was saying right here, but let me go back to see it because I don't even know how to get it off. Oh, we have to scroll up to get it off. Okay, I got it. Um, where is the comment? Where was I coming
Like,
from?
is it, you remember the 4x1 2012? You look on Tiana Bartlett's face. Her face was so grimy,
You
like
know who
somebody.
has this attitude? Akira. And that's why we know say Akira got done them when she reached Olympics. Cause you see once she look on them at the Olympic style and the one of them are gonna frazzle. The one of
That
them are
that
gonna frazzle. Do you
that's what
remember
I.
the NCAA
Of
finals?
course, I remember that
Akira
NCAA
even
final.
scared me. Ah, me sit down and wonder about do Akira if Akira alright.
Masai, man, Masai. They said something before. That's why get her.
Oh my god. I said Akira is like this. I was like,
That,
child, what's going on? What happened to my nice sweet Akira? But I love it. I love the fierceness. I love she gets into that battle zone and she's ready for war. She understands that nobody wants you to win. None of these girls lining up here want you to win. You know what I mean? They may smile with you, blah blah blah, but they don't want you to win. You have to go out there and claw that win out with every part of your being. And I love that about her. And I wish most of our Jamaicans were like that. I don't know if this is a I'm starting to think about it now, and I'm thinking that this is probably a thing that you may
culture.
develop because you run collegiately. You know what I mean? But I don't see that kind of warrior raw grit. The only other athlete I can think of that is potentially like that is Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. And you don't see it on her face. You know that you're getting that, energy from her, but it's not that, kill zone look in her face. No, you're not
No,
seeing it.
it's when
Um,
Shelly win the race, them, Shelly face, trials, 2021, 2020.
2021. We
Oh
saw it
my
in
god.
2020.
Oh,
Yes, I remember 2021 for sure. She showed that. I think Rochelle Clayton is another one, but for the most part, I don't see the athletes show that kind of, warrior mentality. When they get to the start line, and we probably need to start trying to frazzle some people. You know what
actually,
I
but
mean?
some people are not like
Um,
that, so them not gonna do it. Cause
I
I
have
wish,
no issues. I have to see first round before I change my predictions. Shelly is my favorite, so I want her to win gold. But the math not mathing right now. Sherica hiding an injury can't trick me. Okay, Dr. J.D. Smith. So make us see what go on.
I think it's gonna
Um,
be super fast that first round. Cause we have last Olympics first round, 10.76,
mhm,
10.84, 10.86. That
mhm.
makes like for 3.10.8s or 2.10.8s and a 10.7 and 10.9. And the semifinals were 3.10.7s. Oh my god. And it's a purple track, it's gonna be super fast.
What's the correlation?
It's like a memory foam like thing that it's kind of more bouncier.
Because
So
it's purple.
yeah, must have that impression it's a bit more bouncy. I wanna know why.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a thing. I was like, huh? Okay. Um, Shericka needs to go. What? Go out in a nice wig, LOL. Wig now make people lose wrist. Boy, Shericka come out like goody last year and now look around her. She better not come out like no goody this year and now look around her. She come out as goody, she better make sure that she see every other goody in the race. Um, one, two, I don't see a single Jamaica female medaling in the 100 meters. Shakira for gold, Julian for silver, and Melissa Jefferson for bronze. You guys can thank me later. All right, Edwin, make me see where to go.
That's a good one too. I can
That's a
probably
good
do
one with no Jamaican tonight. Okay.
that. Sometimes you have to be a realist. You don't want something to happen, but you have to pencil in the possibility that that could probably happen.
Oh, for sure, me agree. Akira Nugent got that dog in her, for sure.
Oh, wow, she could that
Akira
dog in
got
there.
done playing.
Shanika
When I
Ricketts.
tell you, I'm
Shanika
here for it.
Ricketts. I wish she comes out very timid. I wish she get look more,
Cool.
her. Shanika Ricketts. I remember one time she was in third place.
She's very
And
timid.
fourth place, or third or fourth, I don't remember.
She's
And
definitely timid.
the look on her face was like she lose already when she was taking her final jump. You can't be like that. You have to have like
Well, guess what? All the
wow.
women triple jumper go on, she never gets, she placed fourth in 2021. She want to make sure she get on the podium. I mean, she did a season's best last time. I don't know. I've just been praying for it to come together at the Olympic Games. That's like what I've been praying. I'm so
I wanted
used
to
to
get it too.
seeing. Hmm?
I wanted to get it too. Given that Ross is not there,
Hmm.
she has a potential to come get a medal. You
Hmm.
know?
So I've been watching, I've been so used to watching her seasons, you know, performances like at the Diamond League pretty much mirror that at championships. And I'm not used to watching her, wait to peak at an Olympic game. So right now I'm watching her and I'm like, okay, 14.65. Where are we, Shanika? Because this isn't giving us the medal. You know what I mean? And I know she's been working on different phases of the performance. She worked on the speed, you
Speed,
know what
yeah.
I mean? So I'm just praying to God that they got it right. I'm praying to God that they got it right. And when I see her jumping in Paris, she's gonna be back to the performances that we expect from her in recent times, 15.01 meters. That's how we want.
I love her to get a 15. I want to finish with a 15. Like her career,
Yeah.
you know? That would be so
Yeah.
good for her.
But right now, I can't positively call a medal because of what I've seen. I like the confidence is like in previous year, my confidence level would be so high talking about her possibilities. But because the performances have not been what I'm used to, I don't even know where we are. You know what I mean? So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it
See,
goes for
see,
her. Hmm?
just the question. When since this narrative that if you win the world championships, you're the fastest person in the world, even though you won in a time which would not be considered the fastest in the world at that particular time.
I
But you won.
disagree. I disagree with you. But anyway, continue.
No, I'm saying that when since has that become the narrative that
It's
once you win the world
I've been watching
championship,
track and field for a long time, right? And it's something commentators started, right? When a person won the race, they say, he's now the fastest man in the world. And it just became a thing, right? It became a thing that if you win the 100 meters, it doesn't matter how fast your time is, it doesn't matter if it's the fastest um, performance for that year or the fastest ever. It was just said, he's the fastest in the world. So, you're world champion, you're the fastest in the world kind of thing. And that just took off. And I knew for years that once you won that world title, you automatically got the title as fastest in the world. You know what I mean? Or that Olympic title, you got that title. I see though where online a lot of people are saying that they've never heard it. And
I've never heard it.
I'm kind of curious how they're saying that they've never heard it. Where if you can go back and you listen to the commentary, just go back throughout the years and listen to the commentary, and you'd hear the commentators say, XYZ is the fastest in the world, and that's where that came from. You know what I mean? Automatically getting that, cosign, and you'll see World Athletics use it and say, oh, that person is the fastest in the world. So I'm not going to lie to you all and tell you I've never heard it. I've heard it, right? And I've also referred to persons as once they have that title as the fastest in the world. Now, when you really look at the semantics of it, though, and you say what's really the fastest in the world, can you say that person holds it? No, you can't really say that. But I mean, given the fact that the attainment or what you're trying to do is not necessarily run a one-off fast time, right? So I may be killing it on the Diamond League, right? And I turn up at the championships and don't perform. I can't be considered the fastest in the world. You know what I mean? Or I can't be considered the best because I would be the world champion or I would be the Olympic champion. So I get it from that perspective, but I get where no, because we're having this fastest in the world conversation, it's kind of confusing new people to track and feel that this means that you're the literal fastest, meaning you have the times to back it up. And you know what I mean? I think that's where people are having the issue. And no, people are like drawing a line and saying, okay, You can't say you're the fastest in the world if you win a world title. But I'm not gonna lie to you until you have never heard it. I've heard it year in, year out. It's in recent times I'm hearing people saying, "Oh, no, no, go son." I'm like, really? I've heard this my whole life growing up.
I'm never hear it. And probably because you see them about, I don't know. I force me to hear it. Force me, come here and watch check a feel. We say once you win world, you're world champion. Because you can win the world championship at a slower time than actual fastest person. 'Cause I remember when Bolt won, I think it was, no, remember, I think when it was 2008. I think Tyson was at 10. Tyson was a defending. So, I remember what. So
Mm-hmm.
one of them did it faster. No, it was no 2015 with Gatlin. Gatlin was at 9-7
Mm-hmm.
something. And both
Right.
was still in 10
I
9
think
9 9.
975 or something like that he was running. He was blazing the place.
Yeah, and whenever hear them something about this fastest man in the world. Like this is just some
But
kind of
because
new
he
to
didn't
me.
win. So if he had won, he would have been, they would have said he was the fastest in the world. So the basis of it all is winning the championship. So I see Dr. J.D. Smith saying here in the comments that that narrative actually is not new, which is why I'm saying it's not new. It's been something that's around, and it's something that I believe the commentators started and then it just caught on. You know what I mean? Because I vividly remember hearing him there first, right? And he says, and the exact term is world's fastest man or woman, right? So there's a difference between saying world's fastest man or woman and saying fastest man or fastest woman.
So with that
So,
being said, no.
so I think
If
that's where
they
the confusion is.
so if such guy and such girl lose, are they still crowned the fastest in the world? Or fast man they were giving that they won the last world title? Or the
No,
current person?
no. So whatever championships I suppose happens after will supersede what happened any year before that.
Okay, just making sure
So
because
if you
America
don't
loves
you
serving
still
this
hold the world
narrative.
title, you're just the defending champion.
Okay, just making sure because
Right?
Red House
So
loves
it's
serving
not
this
a new,
narrative.
it's not anything new. I've heard it for year in, year out. I've actually used it myself because as I said, I was so comfortable hearing the commentators say it because it happened quite frequently. So I don't know when it became a thing that wasn't a thing anymore. I don't know if it's social media, I don't know what, but I know I've growing up, I heard this consistently. And I never had a problem with it. And I don't think I have a problem with it because I don't think um being the blue ribbon event I particular find an issue with being called world's fastest man or world's fastest woman. You know what I mean? Because you won that title, you won the world tags, you know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with saying you're the world's fastest man or world's fastest woman. I don't particularly have an issue with that. Where I have an issue is where, start to, mix things up now and start to say, oh, you're the fastest man alive and all this extra stuff. Like, what are you talking about? That's not where we're at. You know what I mean? So I think that's the issue I have, but I don't really have an issue with hearing world's fastest man or world's fastest woman. No.
That's
Um
the propaganda they push to alter facts to suit their narratives. So mm.
um so why weren't they calling Shirley the fastest woman alive in the world in 2022? I only heard them saying it's
Not
world
true.
champion.
Not true. Whenever hear that before.
Again,
That's why I'm saying that it's kind of new because when I was watching everything, I've never heard that except for like Bolton say, "Yo, fast man alive," and them some of this stuff.
okay, it's not new. That's the first thing. Maybe different commentator, different, thought process during the moment, different things pop out of your mouth, you know what I mean? But it certainly is not new. What happened in 2022 during that commentary? I have no idea. I don't remember every commentary like down to the T to know what exact words were said and what wasn't said. But I know this is something that dates back years ago. From I've been listening to track and field, I've been hearing this statement. So I don't really know. Maybe it had something to do with, Usain Bolt and the fact that, or let's put it this way. Maybe because at the time when Jamaicans were winning, we were actually the fastest. So hearing fastest in the world, it didn't change anything, you know what I mean? But know that America or other people that are winning that are not the fastest, it's kind of confusing. Maybe.
Very confusing.
No, Dr. Daly Smith says, no, the term is relegated for the world champion, not used for the Olympic champ. Okay. A new world champion is the world's fastest. Okay.
So,
Right.
so, so if I win the Olympics,
No Olympic champion takes precedence. Okay. Yeah, me
so
get
there's
back
a
to
rule to
that.
it.
Huh?
So there's a rule to it then.
Well, world championships.
The Olympics ranks higher than World Championships. So
Hmm? No, I
Olympic.
think the whole title world.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Mhm. All right, guys, I'll be getting into the breakdown of the Olympics in future videos. They're coming, don't worry, they're definitely coming. Um, they make things up for themselves that don't compare to others in track and field. As I'm saying, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not the first time I've heard it, so I'm not gonna pretend like it is, and it's not something new, right? But as I said, I get the confusion, and I don't like them to, convolute things by trying to mix it up with fastest person alive or fastest ever and all these extra stuff that they seem to be doing, or calling people that have never been to the Olympics Olympians and all these extra stuff. You can only be considered an Olympian if you've been there, you know what I mean? So yeah, all these extra stuff that they're doing I certainly don't agree with, but that particular part I've heard of it before, so I'm not going to pretend I haven't heard about it. Is there anything else? Can you bring that thing that I have the stuff jotted down on so I can see what I missed talking about? Okay, let's see what I have here. All right, so I wanted to talk Anjanette Knight, right? So I saw an interesting interview with Anjanette Knight. Where because I always wanted to know exactly what happened with her this season, because things were going so well for her and I was like, what went wrong, right? So she explained that leading into the Olympic Games, she lost her, not the Olympic Games, the trial, sorry, she lost her grandfather, right? So that was a major blow to her. And then a few days leading up to the trials as well, her foot got swollen, right? And everything just pretty much turned left. And she think it was caused by a stress reaction. I'm not sure if she's saying the swollen foot was a reaction from her body due to the death of her loved one. I'm not sure if that what a stress reaction is, because I've never heard a stress reaction, right? So maybe persons that are track have the more track knowledge as it relates to injuries can explain what a stress reaction is, but I've never heard persons make reference to this particular terminology. But it's understandable now hearing these things why we weren't able to see her, progress the way we were hoping she would have progressed this season, because she was hoping that she'd have been a part of the Olympic campaign, representing Jamaica individually. It didn't work out for her for multiple reasons that she explained here. I'm just wishing the best for athletes, because these type of things, Shakis, I like to know about them because it makes me understand more about the athletes and it helps me set my expectations as well, right? I wish I'd known about this earlier so that I could talk about it, but I'm knowing about it now, right? So understandably so, she wasn't able to run her best. I mean, her foot was swollen, so clearly it is what it is when it comes to the trials. I'm just hoping that next season we can get to see the better of her, because I think what age is she now? 28? I don't know, when did she jump up in age like that? She's either 28 or 27, right? And I was thinking to myself, with how these younger athletes are coming right now, you know what I mean? You need to jump onto your performances and try to, get the best out of it, because you soon see one young 18-year-old come here. She's 27. You soon see one young 18-year-old come all run faster than Sydney McLaughlin level run. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that. I talked about the team manager Ludlow Watts talking about the administrative mishap with Nayoka Clunis, claiming that they had a meeting with everybody there and everybody is comfortable with what they're doing to help Nayoka. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about? They're not the ones that are in the problem. It's Nayoka, and she's visibly saying, you know, online that things aren't working out. She's trying to reach out to the J3s, nobody. She can't reach out to anybody. She can't get in touch with anybody, or nobody's responding. Like, how are you helping her when you're not even in touch with her? Like, those type of things are confusing to me. Like, what exactly are they saying? Right. So clearly, the J3 is still doing shady stuff, day in, day out, talking random nonsense that don't match up with the things that are happening with the athletes that are underground right now, facing the challenges. You know what I mean? Shame on them. It's too bad. Well, I don't know if there's still any time, because toy look right now Olympics are start. I mean, well, Olympics already starts. But the open ceremony is tomorrow. I don't know if there's any more time to get Nayoka in. I pray there is, but it really look like it's gonna happen. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for help her. But make we see. Make we see. What else is there? All right, so Alana talked about her season, and the loss of her uncle, attributing that loss to just the kind of the down moment of her season, right? So I mean, I'm just hoping that these athletes that are going through these struggles right now are able to come out on the other side. Clearly for me, Alana looks like she's in a much better place, and hopefully she can just go from strength to strength from here in 2025, because she's also one of those young prospects that we're looking forward to seeing in the future do great things. Um,
Question T. So
mhm,
Alana's coach is Dennis Mitchell. So three of
mhm.
Dennis Mitchell's girls are on the 4x1 relay, presumably. So how that works, don't know. He's gonna coach her, say, "Oh, Alana, go out there, do your best." Well,
Well, Dennis
oh,
Michelle said that from an American perspective, it hurt his heart seeing Jamaican win. So I don't know how he train Alana to do what I don't know.
I,
Right?
it doesn't
So
make
I
sense
don't
to
know
me.
how Alana work that out. Alana have to work that out herself with him, because that don't make no sense. I mean, that's why I can't trust the whole American thing, and I understand why Jamaicans lose it every time they hear people make reference to Jamaicans training overseas, because really and truly, are you really gonna help us beat your Americans? You know what I mean? Can you be that selfless? Like how MVP has situations and scenarios where they train athletes that are non-Jamaican. Let's look at Ashade Williams, that is from Barbados, right? And she stays beating Jamaicans until recently, where we have like a Nikisha Price. No, but she goes there, she medals, and Jamaican are medal. You know what I mean? So he does that. But are we seeing that from other American coaches? Well, when VCB was there, she was being trained to be the best and winning, you know what I mean? But I don't know if everybody can do that, you know what I mean? And especially here in the coach himself say, oh, he doesn't want Jamaica to win, child. I don't know. But as me say, I don't have to figure that part out. None of my business. I don't want to put my mouth into where, it doesn't belong. Um,
Let's pray fair. I sent you
yeah,
the link. I sent you the link for the shirts.
you sent me the
Over there
links for the shirts.
in the
Oh,
comment.
where,
The chat.
where is
The
it?
chat.
Where you
The
sent
chat.
me?
The chat here. The chat that I'm on the thing.
Honey Bunny, please DM me. I'm
Okay.
gonna look this office scroll and find it. So please DM me. Thank you. Um, the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Oh, I think I did it. So we talk about the repechage rule, right? I'm here for the repechage rule. Um, Okay, I think those are all the stories that I noticed today. If there's anything else that I missed, guys, that you want me to talk about, um, let me know right,
Hmm.
Can you come and get us something, please? Let me know right now. So, guys, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm kind of figuring out the logistics of how things is working. So I don't want to be passing things back and forth, but if that's what I have to be doing, child, then that's what I have to be doing. Um, so
What time is open ceremony?
the ceremony is 12:30. Yeah,
12:30.
12:30. I'll be here live. So once you see one live, you know, say me there. Me there. See
Sleep
you,
now keep.
Jackson. There.
Sleep now keep.
You hear how Elaine is doing, T? How about the Elaine? How about the me goodie? Is something wrong with Elaine? Curl Beauty? Is something wrong with Elaine? Let me know that quick and fast. Let me know that you know say Elaine I'm a little goodie, you know. You know say Elaine I'm a goodie, so make me know quick and fast. What's a one in a what's a one? Let me know. 12:30 p.m. So it's gonna be in the daytime.
PM? That was AM.
The opening ceremony is I think at p.m. The opening ceremony is p.m. Everything else is a.m. though. So like when the actual track or field event starts, it's a.m. but the opening ceremony is p.m. Um, haven't seen her from that run, just saying if she's okay. Yeah, remember she got injured and she had to pretty much back off this season. So that's pretty much where things stand with Elaine right now. You know what I mean? No biggie. No biggie. It's just a part of life. We just motion. We just have to keep moving. Um, all right, so guys, I think we've pretty much covered everything we need to cover quite quickly. Um, it would be good if when I go live tomorrow, y'all join me as in on the show so that we can, talk about what's transpiring. So feel free to call in tomorrow. I'll be sharing the link so you guys can join me and we can have fun together. I'll be sitting here for a whole 4 hours trial. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be in it for a while. For an absolute while, right? So anything else that you want to say, Ask?
Ah, uh, just pray. Just hope and pray. That's all I can say.
The athletes already put in the work, so without the work, would not make no sense we have to pointless prayer. You know what I mean? But that being said, I think everybody should stay prayed up for sure. And just go there and do their thing. They already did everything they can do at this particular point. Just to piggyback off something Killian said in 2021, the work already put in is just to come there and execute. So I pray that our athletes are able to execute their best races or throws or jumps at these Olympic Games. Even the athletes that are not even, in track and field, right? We have a judo athlete, I believe. We have Johan Night Wisdom in the diving. So we do have athletes outside of that, repping Team Jamaica, and yeah, I pray that they're all able to just execute their best on the day, right? As long as you're putting in the work, guys, and we can't expect to do miraculous things without putting in the work, right? So that's just how I look at things. See lots of pickpockets in Paris. Oh yeah? Well, I'll be going live around 12 tomorrow, right? So around 12 tomorrow, hearing that the Jamaican team was provided with some food such as ackee, kalaloo, dumpling, and green banana, and some other, can't remember all. Oh, and liver. But I did hear the chef de mission saying that they would be trying their best to get the food there that Jamaicans like to eat, and Jamaicans should look out for that surprise. So I guess that's a surprise, child. We don't want to ask them. We don't want none of that they ask silly at all. We don't want no problems around here. So I guess he did a, I don't know about child. The only thing I eat on this list is probably Aki and Colorado one. I don't want a dumpling. Who want a dumpling in the system? What kind of dumpling? Fried dumpling or cooked dumpling, child? Anyway, I don't know. Me don't know about that, but I probably try want try eat something from France this time around. You know, get used to the local cuisine. Me don't know if me want come up France con yam, dumpling and banana. Now that me eat every day. And you ask what you think, Pastor? That you eat every day. What you want to eat dumpling and banana for? Lord of mercy. I'm weak. All right. They removed the homeless people off the streets just because of this Olympics spectacle. Not that normally happen, guys. Anytime there's any major event keeping in any country, them clean up and go like say everything perfect, and then it's back to normal as soon as it's done. We don't know say how things go, right? Yeah, it's just the hypocrisy of the world. Can't get out of that. What we say? I don't like France though. Why? No attracting people to the sports when he is gonna get beaten. Him still gonna make the money. Beaten or not, him gonna make the money. Um, give me rundown. Nah, sir. Shelly is oh yeah, cause Shelly always a pack her food. It's true with the grace food them. Shelly always have her suitcase pack up with grace food. But I don't know. I don't know. Me personally, I probably try something new. You know what I mean? But maybe, as from an athlete perspective, you don't want to try nothing too new if you're gonna mess up your belly and you can't perform or you want to perform. You know what I mean? There's that. So I get that particular perspective. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is it. We're wrapping up this particular video. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, right? I thought I would be talking for longer, but apparently not, right? It is what it is, guys. But tomorrow is another day. We'll be live for the opening ceremony, and that is 12 p.m. Tomorrow. So look out for that. We'll be here. I'm gonna try to find something up. Well, I have black. I wear a lot of black, but I'm gonna try to find something green, gold, yellow. I don't know, so I can be a part of the festivities. Feel very much Jamaican tomorrow. You know what I mean? But with that said, guys, love you all lots. Thank you so very much for joining. See you
Bye.
on Dominic. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
I said bye.
Oh, you're saying bye. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Mwah, love. Um, what's be said here? Not everyone can cook Jamaican food good. They better mind them belly. Uh, you can pull it up on YouTube. You have to do so carefully while in Paris. Everywhere have them problems, guys. Everywhere have them problems. Everywhere has their problems. So I'm not gonna make a big deal out of stuff like that. Clearly, they'll probably try since it's so big on social media. I'm praying that right now they have the security forces on it, right? I'm hoping so. At this particular point in time, but I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it and say Paris stinks, you know what I mean? I'm never gonna yet, so I don't know. My sister went actually. Tom, I believe, went I just what she did over the over whatever weekend gone, right? So I had to ask her if she met into any pickpockets. But that being said, guys, it's been a good one. So as you can see, I got photos here. These interestingly, these booklets are what I got at the trials for when I went to, oh, where we go? Oh, the the Jamaican event, right? This is not what's gonna be there. It was last minute. I didn't have anything to put there. I just got these things set up. So I'm gonna get the pictures that I need to go there, which are Jamaicans, right? That's what's gonna be up there. Okay? So just so you all know. With that being said, guys, that is it. Enjoy your rest of your night, morning, wherever it is. As I said, love you lots and join me tomorrow. Bye.